OHL hockey on the Frontline podcast. I am your host, Derek Lynch. Pleased to be joined tonight by the talented Jamie McKee. This pregame show is brought to you by Long's Maple Syrup. When you want to find some fine local maple syrup, visit longsmaplesyrup.ca. Also there, why not visit their recipe page and find some interesting ideas for all your meal prep and desserts. Again, that's longsmaplesyrup.ca. Well, Jamie, it's been a long time since we've been in this building. Last time we were here, it was New Year's Eve, and tonight, after a month away, we're going to see the first place in the Western Conference Greyhounds take on the North Bay Battalion.
Yes, absolutely. That is definitely correct there, Derek. It has been a long month without battalion broadcast, but like you said, we're back, and yeah, looking forward to tonight's game. Like you mentioned, the Sioux is definitely on a hot streak right now. No regulation losses in their last 7, and of course the battalion. We all know they got off to that hot start at the beginning of this year, but things have turned in different directions slightly, but I'm sure they're looking to get back in the win column tonight against a strong Greyhounds team.
Yeah, and talking about strong Greyhounds, the leading scorer, Ty Kearns, is coming in 1 point ahead of Brandon Coe for the top of the scoring of the OHL. How important is it to see those two players live again?
Well, they obviously both sit on the top line for their respected teams, so I'm sure they're going to be going head-to-head quite a bit this evening. Like you mentioned, only 1 point separating the two players. Of course, they do play a different position, but two of the best offensive players in the league, and I'm sure they've taken a look at the stats lately and know what's on the line tonight, if you will.
And one of those people that had something to say about the visiting Sioux Greyhounds was head coach Ryan Houlihan, and we caught up with him yesterday. And one of those areas that the North Bay Battalion have to be concerned about is the power play of the Sioux Greyhounds. They are currently ranked first in the OHL with 29.4%.
Yeah, that's a very impressive power play. Obviously, sitting atop the league, definitely, I'm sure one of the keys of the game that Oulahan has mentioned or is mentioning to his players right now. We still do have 8 minutes before puck drop, but again, definitely a message to them is going to be staying out of the box when the Greyhounds have as good of a first line that they do, and then they stack that up even more on the power play. Like you mentioned, sitting at almost 30%, staying out of the box is definitely going to be key. The battalion's penalty kill does sit bottom half of the league, so staying out of the box is definitely going to be one of the keys to victory this evening. And
one of the other points that Ryan Oulahan talked about is the presence of fans being allowed back in the building. We see a few already filtering into tonight's game and just limited at 500. One of those other people that had something to say about the attendance is General Manager Adam Dennis, and here's the comments that we had from yesterday's conversation.
500, that must be pretty exciting for the team. Just tell me your reaction and what is it going to mean to the guys behind the bench?
Well, certainly, and I think, most importantly, I don't think people realize how many people do go into just putting a team on the ice, taking care of the players off the ice. So it'll be really nice for the players today to see some familiar faces with their family and billets, and I know that there won't be all of our season ticket holders, but a lucky few will be able to get in, and we're really looking forward to have them back, and even more so looking to have this building full again.
Behind the scenes, obviously, the not having fans directly impacts the club. Just tell us how not having fans impacts the club, if you can, financially.
Yeah, well, financially wouldn't necessarily be in my world, but from the players' perspective, that you forget that they're 16 to 20-year-old kids, and for the most part, this is the first time that they do have people that are going to pay for them to watch them play. And it's important for them. It's important that they get out there and that they see the support of the community. And really, it's not the full motivation, but it's definitely an added piece of why we work so hard every day. And to not see them in the crowd, it's tough for sure.
With injuries plaguing the team recently, how do you decide who gets called up into the games or go from there?
Yeah, well, for the last month, we didn't really have to deal with other schedules in other leagues, so we pretty much had a lot more availability as we go here into November and other leagues are picking up. A lot of it will be depending on when those teams are playing games, and then again, just like I just stated, our guys are 16 to 20, so school is often a big factor as well with tests and the like, so all sorts of things go into it, and then performance is definitely one of them, so we want to reward those guys who are going to give us the best chance to help us win.
And speaking of school, we just saw Owen becoming a hot streak player, and he's also one of the academic award recipients. I think that was back in December. But talk to us a bit about that and what it means for a player to be good on and off the ice.
It's something that we really covet for sure as an organization, and it's something that when we do our homework and looking into these kids before we select them in the draft, we ask a lot of boxes to be checked, and Owen's one of those guys who just does it. He does it at the rink, he does it at home, he does it at the classroom. He's just a leader and a great kid, so I really give a lot of credit to his parents, but I think as far as battalion go, that's what we want. We want people to be role models, and we want the next generation to look up to our guys, and certainly I would say Owen Van Steens is a great role model for anybody that's looking for one.
Some great words there from General Manager Adam Dennis talking about the attendance, injuries, and the presence of Owen Van Steensel, who has stepped up. One of the big keys for the North Bay Battalion are those injuries. They're going to get Matvey Petrov back into the lineup. He's coming back after missing 5 games with an upper body injury, but still, they're going to be without Kyle Jackson, Liam Arnsby, Alexander Luke, and Dom DiVincentis. Some key players, Jamie. How do you adapt to that?
Yeah, as we see the battalion come out here shortly, the lineup always looks a little different when those key players are out on injury. I think adapting is definitely key, Derek, as we see the lines are a little bit different each night as players kind of bounce up and down. Whoever's producing kind of jumps up, jumps down, but a lot of these players have been in this situation before. This isn't new to them. Of course, players like Arnsby, Jackson, the list goes on and on. Of course, they want them in the lineup, but got to roll with the punches, I guess. And it's not the first time, like I said, that these guys have been through this. So adapting definitely is what they're going to have to do this evening, and just play to their strengths and keep pucks out of their zone as much as possible.
And one of those players that we heard both Ulan and Dennis talk about, Owen Van Steensel, got some time up there on the top line with Michael Potaloo and Brandon Coe. Over those 5 games, he contributed 6 points, Jamie?
Yeah, that is correct. 6 points in 5 games there, and 4 of those were goals. So like you mentioned, he has seen time on the top line, down to the second line tonight with Russell and McDonald. But for a rookie, he is born in 04, so of course kind of missed the year last year. But a week ago, he had 3 goals on 3 attempts, I guess we could say.
He basically won the last game against the Ottawa 67s, 2 goals in regulations, and the shootout winner.
Exactly, and like we were talking pregame, he's kind of been up and down the lineup all year. If I'm not wrong, I think he's played on all 4 lines. So it just goes to show what hard work and success can get you. And for a young player on this team, I think the coaches and management are obviously very happy with him.
We can't be without injuries without talking about the recent injury to Tanner Dickinson of the Sioux Greyhounds. He took a boarding call from Ethan Cardwell of the Barrie Colts, who received, just being announced today, a 15-game suspension. Dickinson, 47 points, 18 goals, going to be a big loss for the Sioux Greyhounds, and won't be back in the lineup this year with a broken femur.
Yeah, like you mentioned, that broken femur, that's definitely no joke. Unfortunate injury for Dickinson. Could be probably his last year in the league too, right? So not the best way to go out, but like we mentioned with the battalion, the Greyhounds are just going to have to adapt and hope that other players can step up in Tanner's place.
And just talking about the finishing off on the injuries of the North Bay Battalion, Dom DiVincentis suffering a head injury, Gushin being handed a 4-game suspension. How hard is it now for Joe Verbetic to run with the number 1 job right now?
Well, yeah, ball's in Joe's court, that's for sure. We've seen him be the best goalie in the league at times, and we've also seen him struggle here and there. But I think he knows what his job is, and I would expect a big game out of him tonight, and they're going to need him big for the rest of the season.
This is the first of 3 and 4. They're going to be playing the Greyhounds tonight and tomorrow, and then Sunday afternoon, the Kingston Frontenacs are in town to take on the North Bay Battalion. First time we're going to get to see Shane Wright, Chromiak, and Lucas Edmonds in person. Can Joe Verbetic carry the 3 games for them?
I wouldn't be surprised if Joe maybe gets the night off tomorrow, but he's always been the number 1 guy, and right now he's really the number 1 guy, so I'm sure he's prepared for whatever job Houlihan throws at him.
Well, up next on the OHL on the Frontline broadcast is the Sioux Greyhounds at the North Bay Battalion. We're going to step away for the national anthem, and when we return, we'll join Matt Sukram and Courtney Kenny for all the first period action.
Management presents the march for the singing of our national anthem.
Our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command, Catholic cross and warmth in
It has been some time that we have heard "O Canada" sung by somebody here at North Bay Memorial Gardens. I had the fortune of coming to a couple of those games with Bay today, but nobody was able to sing "O Canada." It was just a recording. But anyways, I'm pleased to be joined back, Courtney Kenny, in the booth with Matthew Sukram. And Matt, it has been some time since we've been here to do a battalion broadcast. December 31st, you could say it's been a year since we've done it, as the old dad joke goes. It was New Year's Eve. The North Bay Battalion played the Ottawa 67s and unfortunately lost that game 5-1. But tonight we get the battalion against the Sioux Greyhounds.
And it's a completely different looking North Bay Battalion team than the one we saw on New Year's Eve. Now, of course, if you have been following along with the battalion and how they've done through other methods of watching your games, you've certainly seen the additions they have made, guys like McDonald and Ladd getting into the lineup. But as Derek and Jamie mentioned, it seemed like every time this team steps on the ice, it's a new look because they're having to deal with a lot of injuries and a lot of guys moving in and out of the lineup. So we'll see how this group responds tonight in front of Ryan Olahan, in front of the fans for the first time in 2022. The puck is dropped and we are underway. Winslow feeds it up to Russell down the left wing side, trying to get it over the blue line. It's knocked away from him and Rory Cairns has the puck. He feeds it back across to the near side to O'Rourke. Rourke back to Cairns on the far side. He gets stripped to the puck and it's sent in to the near side corner. That's Van Steensel, who's really come along in the last few games for the battalion. He gets knocked off the puck and it is again controlled by the Greyhounds. Moving down the right wing side, getting it out of the zone. Stopped at the blue line. Now Winslow going the other way for North Bay. Gets over the goal line, plays it behind the net. That's Podolou there, centers it. Coe looking to get it shot off. He gets knocked off the puck, goes to the far side boards, sends it down to the point. Skating in control is Mathurin. He plays it behind the net to Coe. Coe walking down the right side, now tries to feed to Petrov. It's out of his reach. And it goes the length of the ice. A minute 10 into the game. No score yet if you're just joining us. Matthew Suker with here alongside Courtney Kenny. Puck is out to the neutral zone. Coe, stretch pass up ahead to Petrov coming in over the blue line. He takes a shot. Save is made by the goaltender Tynan, and he holds on to it for a stoppage in play.
Of course, whenever we see a game with Tucker Tynan, we can't not mention his grisly injury that he had with the Niagara Ice Dogs in the 1920 season, where he took a skate / to his knee and was a lot of blood on the ice, but he's bounced back. He was traded to the Sioux Greyhounds, and he seems to have found a home just down Highway 17 from us.
Play back underway. North Bay win the draw. Coe from the left side takes a shot. Save made by Tynan, kicking it into the near side corner. It's back down to the point, across to the right side. That's Nelson. Shot deflected, and it goes wide of the net, over the glass and out of play.
One thing that we've seen a little bit, or you may have saw on TV about, is Ty Nelson and Tanias Mathurin are back together as a defensive pairing. They were split up for a little bit with Nelson playing with Winslow, Mathurin playing with Lucan for a little bit, and Christopoulos. But the two rookie sensations, if you will, are back together.
Again, as we mentioned, a lot of mixing and matching for sure for head coach Ryan Olahan over the last couple of weeks. Almost 2 minutes into this game, no scores. North Bay get the puck out of their own zone. Nelson shot, snaps in half. Not the puck snapping in half, so a little bit less impressive than the last time he snapped something in half. But puck goes into the near side corner in the North Bay zone. Bit of a battle down there for a couple of guys involved on both sides. It gets kicked around behind the net. Paul Christopoulos has it. He flips it off the glass, and it's sent down the ice. Racing towards it are the Greyhounds, and they will touch it first, and that is icing called against North Bay.
Yeah, Matt, you mentioned Ty Nelson breaking the puck in half here at North Bay Memorial Gardens, and I was unfortunately looking at my cell phone when that happened, but let me tell you, in an empty arena, that was probably the loudest noise I've ever heard from the game of hockey.
Well, yeah, it's rubber snapping off an iron post,
well,
right?
It was the ding on the post was so loud, it was like almost like shattering. It just shattered
it
your
must sound
senses.
like a whip cracking, right?
It was insane. That's all I can say, really.
2.5 into this game, no score. A puck behind the North Bay net, kicked around to the far side boards, and the Greyhounds can't keep it in as Brostowski chases it out of the zone. Now it's up to Kudratsev at the blue line. He dumps it in, and a couple of guys hitting each other on the near side boards. The battalion looking to get it out. It goes into the corner. Govro's there. Sent back to the half boards, and it is picked up by the Greyhounds. A shot comes in. Save made. Might have hit off the body of Paul Christopoulos in front of the net. The North Bay defender gets it to the blue line. Sends it across to Govro, who gets it up to Tarasevic, and he sends it right towards Tucker Tynan in the Sioux net. He leaves it for his defenseman, who will look to play it out after a line change. 3:10 into this game, no score, as the Greyhounds bring it out of the zone. Fed down the middle. Winslow has it for North Bay. Now he gets knocked into the boards. The puck goes into the near side corner, and it's still there as a battle ensues. Picked away out of that corner by the battalion McDonald, and he sends it over the blue line on the far side looking for Russell, who gets it behind the Sioux net. Leaves it there for McDonald. It's knocked off his stick, controlled by the Greyhounds. They try to get it out down the right wing side, and they do. Long pass to the far side, but knocked off the stick. It's Ladd with the puck for the battalion. He moves it up to the blue line. Van Steensel shovels it over the line to clear the zone for North Bay. Shot right back in, and Verbetic just slowly kicks it into the far side. Picked up there by Ladd, who carries it behind the net. 4 minutes into this game, no score as the battalion look to break out of the zone with it. Knocked off the stick of Coe. The Greyhounds in control with it. There's a shot from O'Rourke, tipped, and it's into the far side corner. Another battle over there. Some good hard pushing and shoving either way. The puck goes to the far side half boards. It's Coe who picks it up for North Bay. He flips it around to the near side boards. Chasing it is Winslow. He gets hit hard, but he still ends up with the puck. Plays it around behind the net to Ladd. Ladd circles and now clears with a high clear down the ice. Picked up by O'Rourke behind the Sioux Greyhounds net. He dumps it down. Chasing it is Mathurin in his own zone for North Bay. He quickly backhands it out to Coe, who finds Podolou. Podolou coming down the right wing side, going to the goal line in the Sioux zone. Centers it for Coe. Coe looking for the pass in front, but he couldn't get it there. That was blocked. Now going the other way is Owen Allard for the Greyhounds. He gets knocked off the puck, follows it now to the end boards and sends it to the point. It's kept there by Kudratsev, who sends it to the middle. The shot, that gets wide of the net. Back into the near side corner. Mathurin battling for it with 5 minutes gone in this opening period. Still no score. Battle continues in that corner. Mathurin involved for North Bay. Nelson staying a little bit further away, trying to see if he can pick up a loose puck. It gets out of that area. Cloutier has it to the far side. Now back around behind the net. Picking that puck up again for the battalion. Now a Greyhounds player knocked down in front of the net, and they're going to get penalized for it. That's the battalion are going to get penalized for it. A long sequence without a stoppage finally ends, and it's the battalion who are going into the penalty box because of it.
That could very much spell trouble for the battalion, as the Sioux Greyhounds have the league's best power play percentage at 29.4%. The battalion currently sit 13th with the penalty kill at 77.3%.
Off the draw, the battalion knock it away, going down the ice. They've got some room. Towards the net is Wakely, and he cannot bury it. Dolan Wakely with some speed going the other way, knowing the team was short-handed, and he almost gave the battalion a 1-0 lead. Almost 6 minutes into this opening period, no score. The battalion down by a man for another minute 30. The puck is inside the North Bay zone. Goes to the near side corner. Hard check thrown. It's down to the point. Thompson feeds it across to the far side. Shot comes in. It's off the stick. And now played off the end boards. Down to the near side half boards. That's O'Rourke there. He tries to play it to the net. Gets blocked down the point. Another shot comes in. Right in front. O'Rourke. He scores. Way too easy there. O'Rourke left wide open. And just like that, it's a power play goal for the Greyhounds, 1-0.
What a nifty passing play by Karche, as well as he had the puck down by Joe Verbetic on the blue paint, and he was just able to kind of 3 little touches on it with his own stick. He was able to shovel it through his legs, behind his back, with a no-look pass to O'Rourke, just knowing that his captain was going to be there. And as Matt mentioned, way too easy for the captain. You can't leave a guy with a talent like Ryan O'Rourke alone like that with a wide-open net. Because I would say 9 times out of 10, but I'm going to say 10 times out of 10 he's going to bury that.
5th goal of the season for O'Rourke and 29th point of the year for the Sioux captain. Six and a half into period number 1. 1-0 Greyhounds lead. just 2 shots on, or check that now, 3 shots on the game for the Greyhounds as they convert that third one into a goal. Play back underway, and it is inside the Greyhound zone. Play on the near side boards. It gets kicked out of the zone and down the ice. Fired back in quickly, chased by Carlisle of the Greyhounds behind the Sioux net, and he holds it there. The Outwater Bouchard Romani line out for North Bay. The Greyhounds come down the ice. Kudratsev coming in, plays it to the half boards, taken away by Romani of the Battalion. He tries to play behind the net, now centered out in front and taken away by Tarasevich. That was a quick play there by the Battalion to notice that a bunch of Greyhounds were in the area. Now the Battalion get it back down the other way. Romani in front of the net, takes a shot, it's off the crossbar. Romani cut right in front of the net, got past the defender and sent it high, but it just kissed the top of the iron and stayed out of the net. Play still underway, 7.5 in. Greyhounds in control in North Bay zone. Quickly on the back check, Romani gets it away, and he sends it up ahead to Nelson, racing down the left wing side into the attacking zone. Backhanded, punched away by Tucker Tynan, who stumbles getting back into the net, but the puck's behind the net. Centered in front, taken away by the Greyhounds. Play to the half boards. Russell gets it back for North Bay. Driving in the net, the shot, scores! Mitchell, the hustle, Russell finds some room under the glove side of Tucker Tynan. 8 minutes in, we're tied at 1.
How did that go in, Matt? That's just a really impressive goal by Mitch Russell. Like, it was such a terrible angle goal, and from our angle we can't see because of the goalie's angle. But it just, I can't believe that it went in. But you know what? The Battalion are going to take it, and the previous chance as well. Anthony Romani had a great chance against Tucker Tynan, but just hitting the crossbar. And he's one of the few Battalion players still looking for his first career OHL goal.
And as you mentioned, Mitchell Russell, now 22 goals and his 50th point of this season. And I think that's probably where you expected Mitchell Russell to be at this point of the year for an overager. 50 points through his 39th game of the year. The Battalion back on the attack off the face-off. They get a shot towards the net. That's saved. Loose in front, now kicked behind the net. Now into the near side corner. That's Coe. He sends it to Govro. Whips it across to Christopoulos at the line. Christopoulos pinching in. The shot goes wide of the net. Down in the near side corner. Coe in there again. The Battalion overager sends it to the point. Christopoulos takes a shot. It's deflected to the near side boards. Coe back into the corner, trying to flip it down to the blue line. Nobody there for North Bay, and it clears the zone. 11 minutes to play. It's back up to Coe, who just dumps it into the Greyhound zone, and the Greyhounds will now bring it out. Coming down the ice is Kudratsev. He drops it back. The shot that's blocked, and now it's Christopoulos going the other way for North Bay. They've got a 2-on-1 coming over the line. The shot save made, and Outwater can't get a rebound. And then after the whistle, looked like Simo collided with Tucker Tynan, and the net came loose. And even further after the whistle, there's some pushing and shoving going on that crease area. So Cooler Heads looking like they might prevail here. No, the officials actually are going to escort Owen Outwater to the box, and it's going to be interference on Outwater and roughing on the Greyhounds O'Rourke. So not a bad little trade-off there. Get the captain off the ice on the opponent's team. And so with 10:43 to go in the first period, it's 1-1, and it will be 4-on-4 play.
Battalion, or the Greyhounds captain and goal scorer to this point in the game, Matt. Again, mentioning just O'Rourke, he's a dangerous player. So yeah, the Battalion will definitely take that trade off. And as for Owen Outwater, you have to think that he likes seeing the red and white when he's playing out there. As he scored his first OHL goal in the Sioux GFL Memorial Gardens.
So as we mentioned, it's 4-on-4 now with 10:30 to play in the first period. 1-1 game. Hard collision in the neutral zone with McDonald getting knocked down. There's a stretch pass down the ice. It's off his stick and trickles right towards Joe Verbetic in the North Bay net, and he'll just cover it up for a stoppage and play. 1-1 the score with 10:21 to play.
Well, it's been mentioned a couple of times, Matt, that the Battalion are a new-look team. because of all the different lineups due to injuries, but they're also a new-look team, at least for this broadcast, with all the trades that they had, getting Nikita Tarasevich from the Sarnia Sting, Kyle McDonald and Grayson Ladd in exchange for Josh Curry and some picks from the Windsor Spitfires.
Face-off won by the Greyhounds in the attacking zone. They get held on the board, but the puck comes loose. There's a shot towards Verbetic. Save made. Got the glove and the pad down to stop that one. It goes into the corner now. Down to the line. Thompson. Kluche walking in the shot. Great stop by Mathurin, who gets down to block the shot. He gets up a little gingerly, but the Battalion go the other way. It's Nelson down the left wing towards the net. The shot save made by the goaltender Tynan. Well, usually it's a great save by the goaltender that converts to a chance on the other end, but this time it was a great block by Mathurin, the defender, that leads to his defensive partner Nelson getting a scoring chance on Tucker Tynan. 1-1 still the score, 9:30 to go as the Greyhounds go offside. 44 seconds remaining in the offsetting penalties to Outwater and O'Rourke, and we've reached our halfway point. Let's check in with Derek.
Yes, each team has scored one goal in the first 10 minutes of this Thursday evening game between the Sioux Greyhounds and North Bay Battalion, as Mitchell Russell has scored his 22nd of the year for the North Bay Battalion. That is a new career high for Mitchell Russell. Coming up in the first intermission, I'll be joined by legendary Bob Coles as we take a look at the first period of play and the three other games around the OHL tonight. We'll also have a little tidbit of the Frontline podcast as they sat down with Cam Deneen a couple of weeks ago, and also of the red-hot Owen Van Steensel as he talked to reporters yesterday afternoon. Well, Matt, what a first period of play. Let's expect more of the same to close out this first period.
Thanks, Derek. Yeah, that's going to be a great feature to listen to in the intermission with yourself, Courtney, and Cam Deneen. We should mention, though, that this period of Battalion Hockey is brought to you by Northern Wood Customs. Available for all your wooden decor needs. Find them on Facebook and Instagram, and you can save 10% on your next order with Northern Wood Customs.
Northern Wood Customs, of course. Rumor has it that they're going to be expanding a little bit with some more custom items. It's in the name, Northern Wood Customs, but anyways, yeah, no, it's been an entertaining first period, and it's good to have everyone back in the building as well for this game and to be able to bring this game to you.
9:20 to go as the Battalion win the face-off, and they send it down the ice in the corner. Now they try to play it to the point. That got blocked, and it's the Greyhounds going the other way. Over the blue line, they get called once again, going offside. If your head coach, John Dean of the Sioux Greyhounds, probably not happy with those last couple of rushes going into the zone for the Greyhounds.
No, I wouldn't be either, but you know what? It's always fun when the Sioux Greyhounds come back to town. Usually I'm down at ice level, so I'm able to sneak into the away coach's room and say hello to Diener, who used to be an assistant coach here in North Bay, one of the great guys in the game of hockey.
Absolutely, and well deserving of his position with the Greyhounds, and they're rewarding him with a very strong first half to this season, and hoping to finish it off just as strong as the top seed in the Western Conference. Playback underway with 8:45 to go. It's set down the ice, and it's going to be icing against the Sioux Greyhounds here. So it's still 4-on-4, but aside from that one chance from Nelson, the 4-on-4 hasn't really tilted to anyone's favor with just 4 seconds remaining in the offsetting penalties here.
No, but it's opened up the ice for sure. But yeah, with Ty Nelson out there, you're always in a dangerous spot. So we'll see what happens at the last 4 seconds of this 4-on-4. But as you said, it's been a little bit tight.
The faceoff is inside the Greyhound zone to the glove side of Tynan, and the Greyhounds win the draw back and play it out quickly. Out on the ice is O'Rourke and Outwater as we're back to 5-on-5. Nelson's attempt to dump the puck in got blocked and ricocheted all the way into the North Bay zone. So Winslow has it deep in his own end. He sends it up ahead to McDonald, who tips it into the far side corner, and it's chased by Van Steensel and Russell. Knocked away from that area, and it's the Greyhounds who control and get it out of the zone. It's Taikarche down the middle. The shot save made by Verbetic. Rebound at the side of the net. That's another stop there, and now behind the net, it looks like Rory Cairns that got knocked down, and after that the official's arm went up, and so McDonald is going to be led to the box here. And so it's another power play opportunity coming up for the Greyhounds with 8:12 to go in the period of this 1-1 game.
Yeah, and the Greyhounds were able to get their goal on the previous power play with O'Rourke getting a wide open net. So hopefully the Battalion defense is a little bit more stingy on this one and is able to stop some more of the chances. But I just wanted to mention Kyle McDonald real quickly. I'm not comparing the two players, but when I see him on the ice, he really looks like Justin Brazo out there.
Could be the fact he's usually the tallest guy out there.
Yeah, that's exactly it right there.
Play inside the North Bay zone. The Greyhounds win the draw to the half-boards, to the point, to the right side. That's O'Rourke, the goal scorer. He gets it knocked off his stick by Coe, but the Greyhounds remain in possession. Thompson to the left side point. The shot comes in wide of the net on the glove side. Down on the near side point to O'Rourke. Cross to the far side. Little chip shot in. Back to the slot. It's taken away by Christopoulos and sent down the ice. The Battalion survived a very good passing sequence by the Greyhounds, and they will keep that first power play unit out there as they bring the puck back down the ice. It's Watson coming in over the right line, tries to feed up ahead to O'Rourke. It was just out of his reach and gloved down by Verbetic. He'll hold on to it for a stoppage and play. 7:22 remaining in the first. 1-1 the score. The Battalion shorthanded for another minute 10.
And of course, a bit of a familiar name there for Battalion fans is Jack Thompson, who used to be the captain of the Sudbury Wolves before the trade deadline, being sent to the Sioux Greyhounds. So far in 7 games with the Greyhounds, he's got 4 points. So he's just picked up where he left off with Sudbury.
Yeah, that was a name that was going to be rumored. As soon as Sudbury didn't live up to expectations, I guess, and they weren't in contention at the trade deadline, he was a name that was rumored to be heavily favored by a lot of teams in the OHL, and the Greyhounds are certainly happy that he's now in the red and white with them. The Battalion clear, and it is now picked up by the Greyhounds in the neutral zone. Shot towards the net, blocked. Back to the near side. They go to the slot. The shot is knocked off a skate, down the point, across to the near side. There's a shot that comes in. That's blocked again. Out to the far side point, now to the half-boards. Up to the top of the circle, behind the net. The Greyhounds in control here. Along the near side, down the point, to the left side. The shot through the slot and wide of the net. Back down to the point. It is Kudratsev there. Tries to feed it to the goal line. It's knocked away from the stick. And the Greyhounds forward up there, and now it's cleared, and it's out of the zone as we're back to 5-on-5. Van Steensel dumps it into the Greyhound zone. And that will get some fresh legs on the ice for North Bay. Turnover in the zone, but now the Battalion can't control it. The Greyhounds caught it. That should be a hand pass coming out of the zone, but there's no call there as the Greyhounds get it into the North Bay zone. It's on the half-boards on the far side. The Battalion in control. Up to the blue line to Tarasevic, who tracks back into his own end. Across the far side to Govro. Govro dumps it down the ice. Picked up by O'Rourke of the Greyhounds. He plays it behind his net. Now into the far side corner to Hookie. Now up to the half-boards to Anselmini. And that scrum still ensuing with Tarasevic involved for North Bay. It gets knocked off a stick and out to the neutral zone and dumped into the Battalion end. 5:20 to play in the first period. 1-1 the score. Govro clears it to the far side, back across, it's turnover, play in front of the North Bay net, and then turned aside. Not sure if Verbetic may have got a piece of that or if it just squirted past him. Either way, the Battalion now trying to hang on here as the Greyhounds are pressing in the attacking zone. Pass to the far side, driving towards the net. Now behind the net goes Karche. Karche knocked off the puck by Romani, gets it up to the far side to Bouchard, and it's out of the zone. Coming into the Greyhounds end is Van Steensel. He's going towards the net, now kept to the outside. Goes to the half-boards, digging away at it. McDonald is on the ice for North Bay. It's knocked away from his stick, and coming down the ice is Thompson, who fires it towards Verbetic. He pushes it aside, and it's chipped right back out over the blue line. 4:30 to play in the first period. 1-1 the score. The Battalion looking to get it back out of the zone. Mathurin up to the blue line to Russell, who dumps it in on the backhand to the far side. McDonald is there in the corner. He tries to play it behind the net. Knocked off his stick, and the Greyhounds go the other way. It's Barker Check that, McConnell Barker going in towards the net. His shot is blocked, and it's out to the neutral zone. 4 minutes to go in the first period. 1-1 the score as Watson brings it back down the ice. Plays it along the end boards. Now back out in front to Watson. He's turned aside. He'll try the other side, and that shot gets blocked as well, as the Battalion doing a great job collapsing in the high slot area. 3:40 to play in the first. 1-1 the score as the Greyhounds once again move it out of their zone. The Battalion just playing dump, but not much chase here in these last 6 or 7 minutes. Wakely now coming in down the right wing side. He gets a shot on time, and that save is made and is pushed back to the corner. And the Greyhounds looking to get it out. Oh, Outwater stops it at the blue line. A little bit of a skirmish on the boards, and the Greyhounds do get it out. It's Kluche dumping it in. Ladd gets to the corner for the Battalion, but the puck is stopped at the half boards. Now Nelson comes in, and he's able to flip it up down the ice, but that will be icing called against the Battalion. So with 2:48 remaining in the first period, 1-1 is the score. Face-off coming up in the North Bay zone.
Well, I want to take you back to almost 2 years ago. It's scary to say that it was 2 years ago, but the 2020 OHL priority selection, Ty Nelson went first overall to the North Bay Battalion, and Bryce McConnell Barker went fourth overall to the Sioux Greyhounds. He's having a pretty solid rookie season so far with 24 points in 39 games and getting a lot of interest from NHL scouts for the upcoming NHL draft.
Yeah, it's been a real mixed bag for that quote-unquote rookie group, with 2 sets of cohorts to define what's a rookie this year. Some guys are putting up the points, and others are just trying to still figure it out at this point in the year. Playback underway inside the North Bay zone. Ladd holding the puck on the end boards. Turns it over. Shot in front, and Cairns scores. Rory Cairns with an absolute blast from the face-off dot, better known as Alex Ovechkin's office. And he makes it 2-1, absolutely ripping that puck past Joe Verbetic.
Well, you know what? In talking about the Sioux Greyhounds, and, of course, Tom Parisi, my co-host on the Frontline podcast, told me a little bit about the team because he would have a pretty good idea of the team living in Sault Ste. Marie. He told me that the Greyhounds are very much a one-line team, but what a line that team has, with Rory Cairns and Ty Karche. They can put Jack Thompson out there with Ryan O'Rourke, and when they're fully happy, and they have Cole McKay out there who's a Sioux native as well, it's just a very dangerous team all around.
Yeah, it just seemed like Grayson Ladd was trying to move the puck and just got caught deep. And then when you turn the puck over in that area and no one is covering the guy that the puck goes to, especially a guy like Rory Cairns, usually you're going to pay the price. Playback underway, 2:05 to go in the first period, and it's now 2-1 for the Greyhounds. The Greyhounds get the puck out of their own zone. Coming down the ice is Savard. Lost it at the blue line. Now picking it up is Hookie. He comes in on the right wing side. The shot. Save made by Verbetic, but where is it? It is underneath him. And that is a stoppage in play with 1:49 to go.
Yeah, it's always a little nerve-wracking when you see the goaltender look behind him when you think he makes a save, but all good for the Battalion there with Joe Verbetic being on top of the puck. And we see the Battalion come out with their second line here with Mitchell Russell, Owen Van Steensel, and Kyle McDonald. So Ryan Houlihan trying to spread the scoring around by splitting up Russell and Co. But Petrov is back on that top line, so no need to fear.
Yeah, and you're hoping that guys like Kyle Jackson and Liam Arnsby can get back in the lineup sooner rather than later, as the Battalion dump the puck down the ice, and it's going to be icing against the Battalion. 2-1 score for the Greyhounds with 1:42 to go. Guys like Jackson and Arnsby just give you, it's only 2 guys, but they give you so much depth.
Absolutely.
To those top lines.
Absolutely. It changes the entire complexion of the team. And, it's pretty impressive when Kyle Jackson hasn't played since early December, and I think he's still 3rd or 4th on the team lead in scoring. So he was having a great year before his injury, and hopefully we get to see him back sooner rather than later.
Off the draw, Thompson with a shot. That gets blocked. Nelson getting down in front of that one, and now Nelson has the puck behind the net. Drops it off to the far side boards to Russell. Russell turns it over in the slot area. The shot goes in towards Verbetic, and he kicks it away. Nelson gets it back in the corner, flips it up over the blue line. A clear for the Battalion, but very quickly the Greyhounds get on the loose puck and bring it back in. McDonald on the back check, strips it away, and he gets it out of the zone. Looking for Van Steensel down the ice. He gets knocked hard in the boards. Russell trying to help him out. Gets it back up to Van Steensel, who dumps it into the zone. The Greyhounds very quickly clear with a minute remaining. 2-1 the score for the Greyhounds. Romani trying to move it up. Getting caught a little deep, but then he finds Winslow, who gets it out to the neutral zone. Sent back into the North Bay end. Chasing it is Mathurin. Mathurin stops behind the net, goes into the corner. And Wakely supports him. He carries it behind the net now, tries the far side corner. He gets knocked in the boards. Wakely bounces off, gets to the near side, gets it down the boards for Tarasevic, who plays it up ahead. Turned over, and the Greyhounds clear again. Chasing it down the ice is Ladd. Icing waved off as Ladd gets to the puck with 15 seconds to go in the period. Ladd circles his zone, gets out on the far side, and then his pass through the neutral zone is blocked. Now it's O'Rourke with the puck for the Greyhounds in the middle of the ice. He flips it in the zone. Ladd has it for North Bay. Across to Winslow with 5 seconds to go. Pass down the ice to Coe over the blue line, and he runs out of time. In the first period, the Greyhounds scoring twice, once on the power play, once 5-on-5. The Battalion just getting on the board once, and after 20 minutes, it's 2-1, Courtney.
Yeah, you know what? For the Battalion, that was quite the goal from Mitch Russell, too, to get him back on the ice. And one player that was kind of impressive to me in that first period, Matt, before we send things back over to our intermission crew. One player that was really interesting to watch, and I think had his best period as the North Bay Battalion, is Anthony Romani. He looked pretty good. He had a pretty great A scoring chance for the Battalion before Mitch Russell was able to tie it at 1. But unfortunately, the Battalion find themselves down 2-1 as we turn it over to Mr. Derek Lindemann.
Where after one period of play, the Sioux Greyhounds and the lead the North Bay Battalion by a score of 2-1. Quite an interesting first period of play, and at this time I'd like to welcome in Bob Coles as we were sitting down press row watching everything during that first period. Well, Bob, take us through the first period summary.
Okay, Derek, interesting first period of play, back and forth for most of it, although the Greyhounds had a few more scoring chances. We'll just check the stats here. First of all, the shots were 11-10 for the visiting Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds. 3 goals in that period, 2 by the Hounds, who went 1 for 2 on the power play and won 11 of the 18 faceoffs. Ryan O'Rourke opened the scoring, his 6th of the year, from Calvin Watson and Rory Cairns, one of the top scorers in the league at 6-16. Mitchell Russell tied it for North Bay unassisted, his 22nd at 7:58 for the former first-round pick. And then Rory Cairns gets his 2nd point of the night, 26th goal of the year from Ty Cartier at 17:23. A few penalties in that period. Mathurin for North Bay for tripping at 5:29. O'Rourke for roughing, along with Outwater for roughing at 9:17. That was the goaltender interference sequence when the net was bowled over. And then Kyle McDonald on a check to the head at 11:48. And so it's 2-1 Greyhounds on the first of back-to-back games between the northern rivals tonight and again tomorrow night here at the Gardens.
And also there's 3 other games going on around the OHL this evening in Peterborough. Victor Rohrer and Brady Stonehouse have the Ottawa 67s up 2-0 over the Peterborough Petes late in the first period. And a couple games just getting underway as the Kingston Frontenacs are in Barrie to take on the Colts, and the Windsor Spitfires host the Guelph Storm. Well, Bob, you mentioned back-to-back games on back-to-back nights here between the Sioux Greyhounds and North Bay Battalion. It's the first time we've seen that really here in North Bay. They did it once earlier this season up in Sioux, splitting that pair of games.
And if the North Bay Battalion want to emerge from these back-to-back games with some points, they're going to have to avoid the turnovers. They've turned it over a lot in their own zone. And the thing about the Sioux, Derek, is when you give the puck to the Greyhounds in your own zone, they're a fast skating team. So they get open ice room very quickly. They're very great with the puck, and so Battalion really got to really avoid those turnovers in their own zone. It almost cost, well, it did cost them on one goal, but it could have cost them on 3 or 4 other sequences as well, Jamie.
Yeah, absolutely. We were talking about that. I remember you mentioning just in the last 3 or 4 minutes there were 3 or 4 turnovers at the blue line there. So yeah, definitely something to clean up. But Bob, like we were mentioning as well, do we think Houlihan's really, or what do you think his message is to the team this period? I don't think he's too disappointed. They're skating fast, and Joe's made some pretty good saves so far.
Well, that's true, but I think his message is going to be in his calm, rational way, boys, stop turning the puck over.
Especially right in front of him. He sees them all.
What I like about North Bay's effort is they're skating, and you have to skate when you play the Greyhounds. You can't have a sort of a sluggish skating game because they can really take advantage of you. But so they're good on that half, and they did get some chances on Tynan in the Greyhounds net. But overall, I think his message is going to be, boys, we can't get into a shootout with these guys. We got to avoid those turnovers in our own zone.
Yeah, exactly that. That second goal, the game leading goal at this time was a turnover deep inside the offensive zone. Well, not only does the Frontline do game day broadcasts, they also do a weekly Frontline podcast. And at this time, we're going to take a quick listen as Tom Parise and Courtney Kenny caught up with Cam Dineen from Arizona.
It's another fantastic episode of the Frontline podcast. I'm Tom Parise alongside Courtney Kenny, and we are proud to have an NHLer on the podcast this time. Defenseman and current Arizona Coyote, it's Cam Dineen. Cam, we're happy to talk to you. It's been a long time, and man, thank you so much for being here to hang out with us.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me. I'm looking forward to talking about the time I had in North Bay and everything else.
First, I got to ask you, you finally get into that first NHL game. Let's talk about it. How was it?
Yeah, that first game was pretty cool. I was in Anaheim. Found out the day before. I was able to get my parents and a couple friends and my girlfriend were able to make it there. So it was really cool, really special to have them all there. And then, it's been obviously a goal of mine, and it's taken a little bit longer than maybe I was hoping for and some other people were hoping for, but just really grateful that it did happen and that I'm still sticking around.
When it comes to that first call up, of course, it's going to be a whirlwind because, you, on an emotional side, you have to get, up to the NHL and get ready to go. How much of a headache is it trying to get your parents to come out and your girlfriend and all that stuff? Or is it something that you're looking forward to instead of it maybe being a headache?
Yeah, it was a bit of a headache. What more was stressful was we were on. So when I got called up, I met the team in Tampa Bay. They were on the longest road trip of their season. It was all a bunch of East Coast teams. So I met them in Tampa Bay. I was in Tucson, so flew out there. I think there was 6 more games on that road trip, and I'm from New Jersey, so everyone was kind of hoping I could have played in one of those games. I think it was Washington, Carolina, Philly, maybe 1 or 2 more on that trip as well. But that would have been pretty cool, and I think a lot of people were kind of anticipating it, so everyone was almost following the Coyotes and myself around for a little bit on that trip. It was kind of funny.
Is it different to play for a team who flies a little bit under the media radar with the Coyotes?
Yeah, I think it's kind of all I've known. Obviously, being in the OHL for a couple of years has kind of showed me what it's like to be the talk of the town. Being in North Bay, then in Sarnia, it was kind of the same type of deal. Everyone knows you around, and being in Arizona just to start. Obviously, it's not a hockey market. It's kind of on the down low, especially down in Tucson. It's a newer team, only a couple years old. So, it's building, which is great. But up here, yeah, I think it's kind of nice. I think a lot of guys enjoy it. Just it's very laid back in that aspect instead of being in one of the pretty hectic markets.
when you're following, get called up and you're not yet playing the game, and then they finally tell you, like you said, the day in advance that okay, you're playing tomorrow. What goes through your mind immediately following that conversation?
I was just really excited. Obviously, I think, you just kind of think of everything that you've put into this moment. I got told before a practice that day, and the whole practice, I was just super excited, super just energetic, like wanted it to be the next day already, and just get it going. But you got to kind of harness that, and you get called up for a reason. They obviously like something in your game, so you want to try to show that.
Go ahead, Tom. Sorry.
Oh, no problem. You got robbed of your first goal. Someone tipped it in front of the net. I was watching the highlights. I saw the shot from the point. It was drifting in. Was it Louis Eriksson, I think, maybe got a piece of it? I don't remember.
It was Dzingel. He tipped it.
In his first game.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I mean, I don't think it would have went in if he didn't tip it. It was just a point shot with really no screen. He actually had a pretty impressive tip. He almost like I've never really seen anything like it. He kind of hit it like while it was moving and made it like redirect. So it was pretty nice, and obviously a cool moment for myself, but also I think a lot of the guys were pretty excited for me on that shift and on that goal.
3 assists, 12 games in the NHL so far. Do you have the puck from that shot?
Yeah, I think the trainers have it saved in my gitch bag at the rink. They taped it up, whatever, and wrote first point, took a picture with it, and they just kind of ask you if it's okay if they just want to keep it in the stall or whatever you want to do with it.
We've talked to a lot of the guys, or we've talked to a few of the guys. Like we've had Nick Paul on and Mike Amadio a couple of times now, and we asked them kind of what's the biggest thing for them. We hear a lot about the speed of the game, coming up from the AHL to the NHL. But for you, what is the biggest thing going from defending AHL players to now defending NHL players?
Yeah, I think the first thing is definitely the speed, but I think more so it's just the ability of the other players to make plays that much quicker. I think that the speed of the AHL compared to what I've experienced so far in the NHL is similar. Everyone's a good skater, developed, they can move out there. So, but I think it's just that at the NHL level, like plays happen a split second quicker. So as a defenseman, I have to be in the right position that much quicker. I got to be on the guy. I can't give him any sort of space because they're the best players in the world. They'll make you pay, rather than in the AHL. Sometimes you can kind of get away with, not being right on top of a guy or giving them some space. So that's a thing I've been working on with the coaches here and other players.
It's not an easy, there's nobody had really Arizona doing much this year, and it's been a tough season. Does that make it easier for someone to develop, or does that make it a little bit tougher each and every night, knowing it might be a battle?
I think in my case, I just try not to really think about that aspect of it. Going into this season, I knew there was a chance that, if I didn't make the team out of camp, that I was hoping to be and thought I could be one of the first call-ups. So I was thankful for that opportunity. And, just whenever I do get in the lineup or just practice, like I'm just trying to get better every day, jump over someone in the lineup, whatever the case is, just to show that I belong here and hopefully will stick around here rather than going back down or whatever the case would be.
I've kind of always been curious about this. Now that you're teammates with this player, I can actually ask a question kind of on a bit more of a different level. He's kind of became a meme while he was in Pittsburgh, and of course he was a Leafs legend for a bit. What's Phil the Thrill Kessel like in person?
That's a good question. I think there's obviously a little bit of a reason for why he's become the meme guy, whatever the case is, a lot of attention around. But at the same time, I think a lot of the stuff that people hear about him isn't true, because what I've seen is just, he works hard. He's there every day doing his job. He's like just loves to play hockey is honestly what it is. I think like that's all he knows. That's what he wants to do. And he wants to win. He's always talking in the locker room, like giving tips to guys, whatever, like great teammate in that aspect, talks to the younger guys, just gives them suggestions. But I think he just wants to win, and he wants guys around him to get better at the same time. I know he's done a good job with the younger core group of guys that have been here for the last few years, like Keller, Chikrin. I think them being around him has helped them just, settle in and find their game, because he's good at helping some of the younger guys. So yeah, I think he's definitely pretty funny and can be a character at times, but I think it all means really well. And yeah, he loves hockey, loves to be here.
That was just as a small little tidbit of the Cam Dineen podcast. If you want to listen to the full podcast, go and you can find it wherever you find your favorite podcast: Spotify, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast. Give the Frontline podcast a follow, subscribe to them, and a new episode will drop almost every Wednesday. The latest episode, I get to turn the tables on Tom Parise and Courtney Kenny and discuss the first 70 episodes and how this podcast came from being from two guys sitting in their basements talking hockey into what it has become now. It's a great podcast. Give them a listen. Well, Bob, almost through this first intermission, 2 minutes left before the teams get back underway. What does North Bay have to do to compete and stay with this high tempo Sioux Greyhounds?
Okay, they got to keep skating, keep attacking when they get those chances, and stop turning the puck over. I know I sound like very repetitive like a coach, but if you keep turning the puck over, the Sioux's going to have great chances, and that gives them the room they create with their speed. It's so important. You got to slow the Greyhounds down by controlling the puck, and when you get it out to a teammate and move the puck up the ice.
Jamie, I'm going to turn it over to you for the Sioux Greyhounds. What do they have to do? Do they just keep the foot on the pedal and attacking?
I think definitely, keeping the foot on the gas. Very even game back and forth so far, but they are up a goal, up one shot if we're looking at that. 11 for them, 10 for the battalion. I think, too, obviously their power play, the first power play of the game there is where they got that first goal, and their other power play this evening, they were very dominant, so I think they need to keep taking advantage of that. And I do think they also need to take advantage of the bottom half of the battalion's lineup. They can really step ahead when they get their big guys out there against players that the battalion don't want to match up against.
It was quite the exciting first period of play. Nice to see fans back inside this building. The battalion find themselves trailing the Sioux Greyhounds by a score of 2-1 through the first 20 minutes of play. Now for the call of all the second period action, let's join play-by-play man Matt Sukram and color commentary Courtney Kenny. Well, gentlemen, nice to have you back for the second period of play.
It's nice to be back, Derek. Thank you so much. Thank you to you, Jamie McKee, and Bob Coles for taking us through the first intermission, and, of course, a nice little cameo by Cam Dineen, the now former Arizona Coyotes defenseman. He's back down with the Tucson Roadrunners of the AHL, but when we recorded that, he was in the NHL, and living life pretty grand for a former North Bay Battalion player. And you know what? A lot of fond memories of Cam Dineen here in this building. But, yes, once again, thank you, Derek, for the intermission report, and Bob Coles and Jamie McKee. We will have them back for the second intermission, but for now, I'm going to turn things back over to Matt Sukram, who will have the call for the second period.
Hang on, give me a second.
Well, we're having a little bit of technical difficulties. Matt is having a bit of a coughing fit up here in the booth, but we will get the game underway here momentarily as 15 seconds have gone by on the clock, with Mitch Russell now battling down in the corner. He gets it up to the half wall, and he passes it out to Van Steensel. Now Christopoulos with the puck, carrying it over the red line, and he just dumps it on down into the Sioux Greyhounds zone for McDonald to try and get the puck. The Greyhounds with pressure, they get the puck back out with O'Rourke passing it on up. And they give it to Cairns, but Cairns is stripped of the puck by McDonald. McDonald now bringing the puck back down into this Greyhound zone, and he gets stuck against the boards with the Greyhounds now attempting to break out once again, but the battalion have been pretty strong on that so far, as the pass just a little bit too far for Mimosa. or Mignosa, I should say. But now the battalion with a stretch pass up as Kyle McDonald just tips it on in, and I will, for real now, pass it on over to Matt Sukram.
Yeah, I was having a bit of a meal in the intermission, and I guess some of it just came back up before, before we went on here.
All
good. All right. That was great, Courtney.
Thank you.
Where are we here? Back in the neutral zone. Here's Coe with the puck for the battalion. He circles back behind his own blue line, now drops it to Winslow. Winslow coming down the right wing side, chips it off the glass, trying to get past Carlisle. Carlisle and Winslow collide on the end boards. The puck goes to the far side, now in the corner. A little bit of pushing and shoving going on there. Trying to get it out of that area is McConnell Barker for the Greyhounds, and he does. He finds Carlisle in the neutral zone, but the Greyhounds go offside, and that's our first stoppage in play here in the second period. The Greyhounds lead 2-1, a minute 41 into this one.
Yeah, we got your back anytime there's something terrible happens to you, Matt. You know, you could drop dead here in the booth, and we'd still continue the broadcast without you.
The show must go on, as Freddie Mercury would say.
As he says, yes, but, I mean, we just kind of move the body out of the way and keep on going.
Play back underway here. It's great to feel the love. In the neutral zone, the Greyhounds move it forward. Allard over the blue line. Tries to feed it across the line. That gets blocked, and now North Bay go the other way. Outwater with a slap at it. It's off a skate. Now goes to the half boards in the Greyhound zone. Down to the point now. Govro shot comes in, bouncing towards Tynan, and he turns it aside. That caught everybody by surprise. I don't think anyone expected it to take that redirection towards the net, and it comes out of the zone now. North Bay bring it right back in. Outwater knocked off the puck, gets it back from the half boards, tries to play it in front. Seema's there, can't get a shot off, down to the line, and Carlisle looks to get it out. Check that, Allard looks to get it out of the zone. He gets blocked, sends it back towards the net. Taking it away is Toms of the Greyhounds. He sends it to McMullen, and he fires it into the North Bay zone. Picking it up off the far side boards was Outwater. He plays it behind his own net for the battalion to Govro. Govro down the right wing side for Bouchard. Bouchard coming in, gets hit hard on the boards, tries to get over the blue line, but they're going to call offside against North Bay. Almost 3 minutes into this second period. It is 2-1 for the Greyhounds.
Bouchard was a recent draft pick of the North Bay Battalion in the 2021 OHL priority selection. He's one of the newest battalion as well, as he's come up during some injury woes for the troops. Another addition to the troops is Charlie Robertson, the goaltender, who was backing up Joe Verbetic tonight with Dom DiVincentis still out. We are unsure how long he will be out for, but of course head injuries are different for everyone. But Charlie Robertson, who was also a 2021 draft pick, is making his debut not on the ice but on the bench.
Yeah, certainly probably will get some ice time with 3 games in 4 days this weekend. Playback underway as Carlisle brings it forward. Dentino over the blue line, flips it up to the far side off the glass, and play back around on the near side. The Greyhounds controlling it. Now in the corner, a little bit of pressure there. The puck gets knocked loose. Nelson finds it behind the net and gets it out of the zone. It's McDonald through the neutral zone for the North Bay Battalion. Over the blue line, knocked off his puck and back out to the neutral zone. Winslow in control at the blue line. He fires it forward. Thompson takes it away for the Greyhounds. Thompson looks down the ice, feeds it up ahead to Karche. Karche trying to get past Christopoulos, and he does chip it over him, but Winslow's there for North Bay. Can't get it out of the zone. It goes to the middle. Cairns fires it across, off the slot, down to the point. The shot comes in, off a skate, and redirected towards Verbetic for a stoppage in play with 4:10 gone in the second period. Just one shot on net so far, and that's awarded to the Greyhounds, who lead 2-1.
Yeah, and you know what? We talked a little bit about that top line of the Greyhounds and how scary they are, and the battalion just need to weather that storm whenever they're out there. It seems like Coach Ryan Houlihan likes his second line of Russell, Van Steensel, and McDonald out there against them. We'll see if it pays off in the long run.
And Russell does win the draw. Plays it behind the net to Christopoulos, who finds McDonald on the near side boards, and he sends it out of the neutral zone, looking for Russell, trying to control it over the blue line, knocked away from his stick, and the Greyhounds regroup out of the zone. O'Rourke with a pass down the ice, now into the middle. The shot, and it's wide. It went off the pads of Verbetic and ricocheted off the boards and down the ice. So the Greyhounds pick it up, and they will do it again. That's Karche over the middle, over the blue line, goes to the left wing side. He's battling Christopoulos as they go in the corner. The puck gets knocked loose. It is picked up on the near side boards by Podolou. He gets it out to the neutral zone, but the Greyhounds chip it back the other way. Coming into the zone, that is McConnell Barker. Sends it to the near side. The shot save made. Watson with a chance at the near side, and that's turned aside as well. Now Carlisle at the line. He keeps it in for the Greyhounds. Plays it in the corner, and it's Mathern who picks it up for North Bay. He flips it to the far side, and Petrov gets it over to Christopoulos, who gets it out to Podolou. Podolou chips it off the near side boards into the Greyhound zone. Thompson's there for the Sioux, and they will get it back out. McConnell Barker over the blue line. Flips it up ahead to, I believe that was O'Rourke coming onto the ice there, and he dumps it in the zone. It's picked up behind the net by Ladd of the Battalion. He finds Coe. He sends it out to the neutral zone. It's deflected and back into the Greyhound zone for O'Rourke. O'Rourke tries to clear. Coe keeps it in at the blue line, and now Coe tries to drive forward to the net, knocked off the puck, and the Greyhounds will get it out. Carrying it down the ice. Now to the right side. Shot comes in, and it's wide of the net. It goes off the glass and out of play. 5:55 gone in the second period. 2-1, the Greyhounds lead.
The Battalion trying to get a little bit of pushback against the Hounds, as the Greyhounds now lead 14-10 in the shot category. Brandon Coe with a little bit of a pushback type of shift, and some nifty passing play by the Battalion as well to get out of their zone. But the Greyhounds, of course, just being a little bit strong on the puck right now. And what a great shot there just before the break that hit the glass. It was there 1 second and gone the next. What a hard shot.
Kudratsev on the far side off the draw. He gets knocked off the puck, and the Battalion look to bring it out of the zone. It's Winslow leading the charge. He goes to the left side over the blue line into the Greyhound zone. Now drives behind the net. Winslow now circling the zone. Sends it to Nelson at the point. Nelson walks to the right side half boards. Takes a shot. Save made. Rebound in the slot. Redirected to the far side boards. And now into the corner. Now back around the end boards. And the loose puck picked up. I believe that's Anselmini down there, and he gets hit hard as McDonald runs into him, but McDonald, check that, Sema loses his helmet, and he'll have to get off the ice, and that allows the Greyhounds to get it up to the line, but they don't clear as Russell, doing a great job at the line, gets it back into the near side circle for Outwater. Outwater stripped of the puck. And the Greyhounds get it out of the zone and down the ice. 7 minutes gone in the second period. 2-1 the score for the Greyhounds as the puck is frozen on the near side corner. Quite a few bodies involved there. Everyone trying to get it out here. And it finally gets cleared out of that area by Russell. Russell looking for a stretch pass to McDonald. It's off escape, back on the stick of Russell. He comes over the blue line, takes a shot save made by Tynan. And now it's fed to the point. A shot comes in. Tynan saves it. Loose puck in front. Everybody looking for it. Caught in some skates. And now it's behind the net. Now shot to the far side corner. Along the half boards down to the point. Kept in the zone. Mathurin feeds it to the half boards to Russell. Russell's shot is blocked again in the slot. Puck still loose in that face-off circle. Tarasevic finds it. He sends it to the point. Mathurin fires it. That's wide of the net. Down to the half boards, hard hit on the boards. Tarasevic finds it, shot, save made, and the rebound cleared away as well. Shot out of the zone, over the glass, and out of play with 11:59 to go in the second period. 2-1 Greyhounds lead.
I'm kind of interesting as to where Owen Van Steensel's gone, because he's missed a couple of shifts on that second line now. We've seen Oatwater out there, we've seen Tarasevic, and Van Steensel now coming out on the ice with what looks to be the fourth line of the Battalion with Romani. He's taking Tarasevic's spot as they're just missing Bouchard, who realized and quickly got off the bench.
Pay attention. Your number could be called at any minute, right?
Absolutely, especially when your number's as iconic as 23 for the North Bay Battalion.
That's right. You got 2 Stanley Cups to live up to if you're wearing that number, as the Greyhounds go offside. 11:46 remaining in the second period. 2-1 the score with the Greyhounds ahead here.
2 Stanley Cups, Nick Moutry and Daniel Verity. If I'm missing anyone else who was worn 23 over the years, my mistake, but definitely the first couple of years with Goodrow and Nick Moutry wearing 23. It was quite the number for the North Bay Battalion.
Into the Greyhound zone, it's Romani with a shot, and it's off the shoulder of Tynan. Down the point, another shot comes in wide of the net. Picked up by Ladd on the near side, into the middle. Govro plays it to the near side goal line. It's knocked off the boards. Van Steensel looking for it in the corner. Knocked away from that area, and the Greyhounds chip it along the boards to the near side. Savard can't get it out. Romani plays it back in the corner. O'Rourke is there, and O'Rourke sends it down the ice. Chasing it is Ladd. He'll have to play it out of the zone. He finds Bouchard in the neutral zone. Bouchard, long stretch pass into the zone. Here comes Petrov one-on-one. Shot save made by Tynan, and he holds on to it for a stoppage in play. That was a great shift by that fourth line of the North Bay Battalion to generate some offense in the Greyhound zone.
Well, in that fourth line, that makeshift fourth line now with Bouchard, Romani, and Van Steensel, we've sung Van Steensel's praises. Romani's had a really strong game so far, and Bouchard has not looked out of place for the North Bay Battalion since getting the call-up.
10:55 to play in the second period. 2-1 the Greyhounds lead as they look to get it out of the zone. They play it on the near side boards, and they control it in the neutral zone. Winslow on the back check, trying to get it back for the Battalion. At the blue line, Cloutier goes offside for the Greyhounds, and so the faceoff will come back outside into the neutral zone.
The Greyhounds have taken a lot of kind of needless offside calls, or just careless offside calls in this game. And as we mentioned earlier, you got to think head coach John Dean's not going to be very happy with that effort for the Greyhounds. But you know what? I'm sure he's a heck of a coach, and I'm sure he's going to have it fixed. As now that even the defensive pairing are getting a little bit of a juggling, as we see Mathurin and Christopoulos out there together now.
Well, those two guys were assistant coaches together in the early years here in North Bay with Ryan Olin and John Dean. So certainly coaching philosophy was talked about. A lot of bus rides and a lot of time spending eating meals together, and stuff came up. So
not only that, but he also has some connection to Scott Ray, as both are former Centennials players as well.
That's right. And I'm trying to think back to remember if Ryan Olahan might have been coaching the Flint Firebirds when John Dean was coach of the Greyhounds, but I don't think they would have ever overlapped.
It would have been a very quick overlap, if anything.
Under 10 minutes to play in the second period. It's a 2-1 lead for the Greyhounds as they go offside again. And that is where we take our mid-period break. It's 2-1 for the Greyhounds, and we'll check in with Derek Lindemann.
Well, Matt, both teams have settled in defensively, with neither team being able to solve the goaltending, with only 7 shots fired combined at the goaltenders, where midway through the second period, the Sioux Greyhounds continue to lead the North Bay Battalion by a score 2-1. Coming up in the second intermission, I promise we'll have that interview with Owen Van Steensel. I'll be joined again by Bob Coles and Jamie McKee to take a look at all of the action in this game so far and the other 3 games going around the OHL tonight. And we'll have a spotlight on North Bay North Bay Trapper big defenseman Zach Major, as he is touted to go in the OHL draft this year. For the conclusion of the second period, let's rejoin Matt Sukram and Courtney Kenny.
Thanks, Derek. And this period of Battalion Hockey is brought to you by Northern Wood Customs, available for all your wooden decor needs. Find them on Facebook and Instagram, and you can save 10% on your next order with Northern Wood Customs.
Yeah, as Derek mentioned, both goaltenders standing on their heads here for the respective teams so far by being brick walls, and we'll see if that continues here throughout the second period, but the Battalion want to get the next one.
It's sent down the ice into the Greyhound zone. McConnell Barker in control of it, gets it out over his blue line to Savard, and Savard dumps it into the near side corner. Getting to the puck first is Winslow of the Battalion. Winslow looking for some room on the ice. He plays it to the far side corner to Nelson. Nelson holding it, looking for some support. The puck gets knocked loose. Outwater gets it back. Blade behind the net. Winslow again back there. Finds Nelson on the far side, and Nelson now has room to get out of the zone. Nelson up ahead to Wakely in the neutral zone. Wakely over the blue line, but Sema goes offside now. So you mentioned mixing and matching. Nelson with Winslow now for I believe the last couple of shifts here.
Well, and for a while, that's what it was for the Troops, was Winslow and Nelson out there together, and then it just so recently became Mathurin and Nelson. But now, as we see Nelson and Winslow back together, and now we see Ladd with Govro. So I wonder if the goals against had something to do with that, with Ladd being demoted. He started the game on the top pairing, and now he's on the third.
8:51 to play in the second period. 2-1 score. The shot towards Verbetic is stopped, and it's going to be a stoppage of play with 8:45 to go and a 2-1 Greyhounds lead. You know, it's hard to fault Ladd on that first one. I mean, it was a power play goal. You're down by a man on the ice, so some assignments, harder to take care of. But yeah, that second one for sure, he got stuck behind the net in the North Bay zone, and then if you're not taking care of your assignments and you're not moving the puck quickly, this Greyhounds team will take over and make you pay for your mistakes.
Greyhounds are always a dangerous team.
Here come the Battalion towards the Greyhound zone. The puck is inside the near corner. Down to the point, that's Ladd there. Ladd skates to the middle, sends it across to Govro. Govro with a shot. That's blocked in front, picked up by Coe, who carries it to the far side half boards. Now it's knocked off his stick, and it's over the glass and out of play with 8:11 to go in the second period. 2-1, Greyhounds lead.
And for those players like Ladd, Tarasevich, and McDonald, this is also their first game in Memorial Gardens with any fans in attendance too. They were traded January 10th with the trade deadline. They made deals for the pair of players just before that, and immediately no fans in attendance. So, albeit 500 fans that are here to experience the seventh man for the first time.
Play underway inside the Greyhound zone, and it's the Greyhounds who get it out. Cairns tries to feed it up ahead to Karche, and Karche lost it coming in over the North Bay blue line, and now Van Steensel going the other way. Down the right wing side, Van Steensel driving to the net, backhanded shot, stopped by Tucker Tynan on the sharp angled shot from Van Steensel, and now the Greyhounds move it out of the zone again. It's Cairns to Karche on the near side, back to Cairns, pass to a wide open O'Rourke on the far side, but that got blocked. Check that was Mignosa on the far side sprinting in at the end of that play. But Joe Verbetic did a great job to not give him an inch, and the Battalion now get the puck out of the zone. Christopoulos with the puck in the neutral zone. And there's some pushing and shoving right at center ice between Van Steensel and the former Sudbury Wolf, Jack Thompson. Thompson wasn't getting off of Christopoulos, who had been knocked to the ice, but now they've both gone to their respective benches. 7 minutes to play inside the second period. 2-1 the score for the Greyhounds, as the puck is in the far side corner in the North Bay zone. It gets dug out of that area, and it's Christopoulos holding it behind his net in the North Bay zone. He looks down his right wing side, and now he moves it out, gets it up ahead to Tarasevich. Tarasevich lost it at the blue line, and Salmini now turns it over for the Greyhounds. Tarasevich tries to move it up. That got blocked, and now it's stuck on the boards right in front of the penalty boxes. It gets moved out of that area into the North Bay zone. Christopoulos behind the net finds Mathurin on the far side corner. He plays it back to the near side for Christopoulos. He tries to flip it up out of the zone. It's on the stick of Romani, who gets tripped up at the blue line, but the Greyhounds remain in possession of the puck with 6 minutes to play in the period. Savard coming in over the blue line for the Greyhounds. He plays it into the corner. Now behind the net, circling the zone. They play to O'Rourke at the line. Back to the near side. There's a shot. Save made by Verbetic and cleared out of the zone by Wakely of the Battalion. Behind the net inside the Greyhound zone, it's Toms to O'Rourke, up to the blue line to Watson, now to Savard, skating down the middle. He turns back and will dump it in, and he'll look to get some new legs in. I thought he was going off for a change, but then he just circles back into the zone after the dump in, and now it's the Greyhounds in control. Carlisle to the point, Savard to the far side, fires it wide of the net, picked up by Winslow. Winslow Sends it up ahead to Nelson, who races down the right wing side. Nelson gets hammered. A couple of guys colliding on the near side boards. And now it's picked up by O'Rourke behind the Greyhounds net, and he gets out of the zone, racing down the ice over the blue line. Drops it back. The shot wide of the net. Ricochet back in front, and Verbetic had to kick it away as it was a hard bounce off the end boards. Now in front to the point, O'Rourke. Across to Carlisle. He fires it. That's blocked by Sema. He flips it up. Carlisle keeps it in the zone. He fires it wide of the net. Picked up behind the net by McMullen. He tries to play it to the middle. That's turned aside. Picked up on the far side boards by Podolou. Podolou down the left wing boards, up over the blue line, and sent into the Greyhound zone. 4.5 to play in the second period. 2-1 Greyhounds lead as Carlisle tries to get out of the zone. He's blocked. Sends it to the far side by McMullen. He plays it back around on the near side to Carlisle. It's out of the zone. Tercevich, check that Coe takes a hard hit as he tumbles to the ice. North Bay remain in control in the neutral zone. Pass up ahead to Coe coming in over the blue line. He gets boxed out into the corner. Now the puck goes down the half boards. Coe gets tripped up again, and there will be a call. This one holding coming up against the Greyhounds. It's Cairns in the box for 2, and this power play is brought to you by Noah Strong campaign. Noah Strong has teamed up with the North Bay Regional Health Center to provide comfort packs to families in need. Head to noahstrong.ca for more details.
Now a look at the penalty killing percentage for these Sioux Greyhounds, 78.3%, good for 10th in the league. The battalion at even 25% on the power play. They're 5th. So it's a battle of special teams where both teams are kind of around each other in the standings. The Greyhounds first on the power play, the battalion 5th, and the Greyhounds 10th on the penalty kill, and the battalion 13th. And just a little bit of a stoppage in play. It looks like they're checking out some of the ice there in the corner. And Matt, I was going to say, it's kind of nice of them to give you a little bit of a break because this is your first game since December 31st, and that last chunk of play was pretty long.
Yeah, as it was going, I was in the back of my mind going, it's been a while since anything stopped. And what's interesting was in the first period, we had a long stretch that finally ended because of a penalty getting called. And again, we're seeing that here with Coe, getting rewarded for some hard forechecking, going into the zone, trying to be hard on the puck. He gets tripped up, or he gets held onto, I guess, and they get called holding against the Greyhounds. So we will see if the battalion can take advantage on the man advantage, down by a goal with 3:55 to play in the second period. The Greyhounds cleared it initially off the draw, but now the battalion bring it back in. Hard check on the near side corner. The battalion trying to play it to the point. Winslow gets beat to the puck by Allard going in on the breakaway. The shot save made by Joe Verbetic. And now Winslow plays it up to Tercevich. Through the neutral zone, Tercevich, he gets hit hard on the boards, takes a tumble to the ice. The puck goes into the corner. Van Steenso can't hold it there. The Greyhounds find it and clear it. 1:15 remaining on the first power play of the game for the North Bay Battalion. As Ty Nelson moves the puck to the blue line, drops it back to Russell in the North Bay zone. Now he carries it down the right wing side, gets around a defender. 1-on-none, Russell, the shot. It's a save made by Tynan. To the far side boards, it's McDonald for Battalion. To the right side to Coe. Coe walking in, shot wide of the net. Russell picks it up on the far side boards. Now walks down to the blue line. Across to Coe in the circle. Back to the left side. Back in front, tipped, and it's wide of the net. Russell now on the rebound. Plays it to Coe on the near side boards. Played across to the far side of Petrov. Petrov to Nelson walking in. Nelson to the middle, deflected. Save made, another chance denied by Tynan. McDonald picks it up on the half boards. Keeps it in the zone at the blue line. Now switches spots with Petrov. Petrov to the goal line. Russell's there, but it's off his stick, redirected to Tynan's pads, and he holds onto it for a stoppage in play. 2-1 Greyhounds lead with 2:27 to go.
Pretty interesting call for Coach Ryan Houlihan to start the power play off with the secondary unit. But, that first unit comes out, and they've had a lot of grade A chances here. You know what? And if you think the fans don't have an impact on games, even though there's only 500, in the games that I was here without fans, there was hardly any penalties called. and then you hear the fans here reacting to stuff, and you see more penalties being called. It's very interesting to see so far. Not all of them have gone for the Battalion, but a lot more penalties have been called in this game than the last few I've seen.
The puck is cleared down the ice by the Greyhounds, who will be right back here tomorrow night for a rematch. Back-to-back games between the Battalion and the Greyhounds this weekend. Here comes Coe down the ice for North Bay. He goes into the near side corner. Sent down to the point to Nelson. Across to the left side. Power play over. Back across the goal. The shot. Save made by Tynan. Well, the power play looked good. They generated some offense. Tucker Tynan looked just a bit better.
Yeah, Tucker Tynan on his game, he was a highly touted goaltender before the injury happened to him in his rookie season, and now he's found a home, like we mentioned, with the Sioux Greyhounds after an earlier season trade to the Greyhounds. But it'll be interesting to see if the Battalion can keep carrying this momentum further, as we see another new look fourth line with Outwater now being on the fourth line with Romani and Sema.
Yeah, in 12 games, Tynan is 5-3-3-1 in a Greyhounds uniform and a 3.43 goals against average. But he's done his job to this point. 19 saves on 20 shots. The Battalion now back on the defensive as the Greyhounds, with 1:30 to go in the period, are really coming on the attack here. Karche with the puck in the zone across to the right side. Shot comes in. That's blocked. It was Carlisle's shot. Goes into the corner. Now back in front. Karche's shot blocked again off the body of Christopoulos this time. Now it's Kudratsev. Sends it to the corner. Back out in front. Cairns fires it, and it's high over the crossbar. Played in off the glass off the end boards. The Battalion looking to get it out. Sema can't clear it twice. It's Cairns with it. Tries to play it to the middle. The Battalion blocked that attempt, and they clear it down the ice. Finally getting it out of the zone very quickly. Here comes Savard back into the zone. Feeds it up ahead. McConnell Barker's right there, but he cannot bury it against Verbetic. 40 seconds to play in the period. 2-1 the Greyhounds lead, and they are pressing here in the final moments of this period. There's another shot to the net. That's blocked. Down the point, Watson to the right side. McConnell Barker's shot in the glove of Joe Verbetic and held on to for a stoppage in play.
Bit of a mismatch there for the Battalion as the fourth line was out against that top line of the Sioux Greyhounds. And we've talked about it a few times now on the broadcast about how dangerous that top line is for the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds. But you know what? That fourth line actually looked pretty to the task. Of course, the Greyhounds did have the pressure, but they didn't buckle, which was the key thing. And Joe Verbetic, of course, standing tall, and a lot of block shots. Those don't go unnoticed.
And you got to feel bad for Sema there. Twice he had an attempt to clear the puck. One he fanned on, and then the second one just redirected off the body of Cairns, and you can see him going, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, come on.
What do I have to do?
Yeah. But that's what will come with time and experience in the OHL, is not panicking and making sure that first attempt is a clean attempt. Here come the Battalion in the Greyhound zone. Ladd tumbles at the blue line, but still has the wherewithal to get the puck deep into the zone. Now out in front, the Battalion can't get a shot off. Ladd picks up on the half boards. He takes a shot again. Save made by Tucker Tynan. 3.6 seconds remaining on the clock in the second period, and it's a 2-1 Greyhounds lead.
Oh, you know what? I'm saying this live on air, but Jared, the intern for the Battalion, I called him out on this. Every time they go into the third with down a goal, I called him out on this earlier in January. He always puts work to do in the third, and he's just typing it right now on his computer. I can see it. He turned around.
Face-off, Nelson shot, or check that, Winslow shot. Winslow shot just missed at the buzzer.
Did we miss something?
Then,
we missed 18 goals.
And then at the buzzer, all of a sudden, the scoreboard read guest 20 on the shots, or on the goal column. So anyway, it's back to a 2-1 game as they've fixed that mistake on the goal.
We
on
missed
the scoreboard.
Yeah,
but
okay.
Anyway, that was an exciting finish to that period. A lot of chances on the power play for North Bay, and then in return, the big line comes out for the Greyhounds. They generate a lot of chances, and the North Bay Battalion with a little bit of pushback at the end, but it's still a 2-1 lead for the Sioux Greyhounds.
Yeah, and as I was saying, intern Jared would say, Work to do in the third, Derek. Take it over.
Exactly that. Work to do in this intermission, too, as after 40 minutes of play, the North Bay Battalion continue to trail the Sioux Greyhounds by a score of 2-1. Neither team able to solve the goaltending. Both teams seem to settle into a defensive structure, not letting many good opportunities from either team there. Probably the best opportunity came on the stick of Brandon Coe just after the late power play opportunity expired. But through 40 minutes of play, score still Greyhounds 2, Battalion 1. I'm pleased now to be joined by legendary Bob Coles, who has our second period game summary for us.
Thank you very much, Derek. Legendary, that just means old. Shots on goal through 2 periods, 22-20 for the hometown battalion. No goals in that second period. So all the goals in the first, with the Greyhounds up 2-1. Shots on goal in the period were 12-9 North Bay, and the battalion again 22-20. On the power play tonight, the Greyhounds 1 for 2, North Bay 0 for 1. Face-offs are even 18-18. No goals in that second period. Ryan O'Rourke and Rory Cairns have scored for the Hounds. Mitchell Russell for the battalion, and just one penalty in that period. Rory Cairns for holding at 15:55. A lot of hitting in that period, Derek, and with this being a back-to-back, or the first game of a back-to-back scenario here, with 7 o'clock puck drop between these two teams tomorrow, we could see some testy hockey over the next couple nights.
Especially if it continues this way for the third and stay a tight game. Both teams looking like they're trying to step things up here in the second half of this season. Both teams making moves at the trade deadline to stock up on players for a long playoff run, as the Greyhounds currently sitting atop of the Western Conference. 3 other games going around the OHL tonight. In Peterborough, they still trail the Ottawa 67s by a score of 3-2 midway through the second period. And in Barrie, Nathan Pohl has the Frontenacs up 1-0 after 1 period of play, his second of the season. That Kingston Frontenac team will be here in North Bay to take on the battalion Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock. And
Sorry, Derek, 1 o'clock.
Oh, 1 o'clock game, special.
Yeah, with Shane Wright coming to town. Should be fun.
Shane Wright and one North Bay product, Lucas Edmonds, who's sitting in the top 5 of scoring, will be in town. That will be the first time we'll get to see that Frontenac team. And in the only other game going on, the Guelph Storm have a 2-1 lead over the Windsor Spitfires through 1 period of play. Jamie, I'm going to bring you in now. Just thoughts on how the game changed for the North Bay Battalion in that second period.
Well, like Bob said, in the first intermission, turnovers were an issue that first period. Still some turnovers, but I think they definitely improved on that end. Not sure if Oulahan mentioned anything in the first intermission, but definitely less turnovers there. I think their power play was pretty strong too. Coe had a couple of chances as well as a couple of defenders, and Petrov was kind of all over the ice too in the offensive zone. And I don't know, I think Verbetick's making some pretty good saves this evening. He's only seen 20 shots. Of course, 2 of those have gone in, but he's having a pretty solid game as well. So I think that this could go either way the last 20 minutes of play.
I think the second period is more the way Ryan Oulahan wanted the game to go. More physical contact, finishing off plays, and again, as Jamie says, not as many turnovers. So I think that's what the battalion are trying to do. Be more physical, get the Greyhounds thinking about that they're going to get hit when they get the puck rather than passing it to their teammate. Didn't do as well a job in the first, but they picked up on that in the second. So I think that'll be their strategy in the third. Just be physical, finish off their checks, and capitalize on scoring chances.
I totally agree with that, Bob. One of the best moments that the North Bay Battalion had in that second period was on that power play, especially that first line. They didn't start the power play. They came out for the final minute 10. Bob, just talk to me about the puck movement that you saw between those top line guys out there to create some scoring chances.
Well, I thought they were going to score on that play with McDonald in front there, and Brandon Coe started to see what they're doing. He was trying to shoot the puck at the beginning, and he realized the Greyhounds are playing Brandon Coe. They're not allowing him to get shots through, so he passes it off to Mitchell Russell, and then Russell gets to be the playmaker and decide, does he shoot the puck or does he try to set a teammate in front? He did one of each, so yeah, that was a good sequence.
A very good sequence, and hopefully build on that momentum for the third period of play. One of the people that built on momentum of getting an opportunity due to injuries is Owen Van Steensel. In the absence of Matvei Petrov, in the 5 games, Owen Van Steensel was moved up to that top line, accounting for 4 goals, 2 assists, 6 points in 5 games. And if we remember, he scored both goals in regulations against the Ottawa 67s and capitalized, picking up the shootout winner for the North Bay Battalion in that 3-2 victory. And yesterday we were able to catch up to him and talk to him about that streak that he has going on. And here's what Owen Van Steensel had to say.
Obviously having a good hot streak right now. Tell us how it feels to be at this high right now.
Every day you just take it one day at a time. You got to take what's given to you. Obviously on the ice, work as hard as you can in the gym, and then it all just comes together nicely.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Sioux Greyhounds, fast offensive team. What are you guys going to do to take them down?
I think we just got to look to match that. I mean, we got a lot of skilled players in here that have a lot of speed as well. I think if we can get on them physically and get in behind their D, I think we can have a good game.
Now, how do you think you've been able to adapt to the ice time so effectively?
Just taking care of the body. I mean, when we're not at the rink, you got to make sure you're doing what's best for your body, what you put in your body, nutrition-wise, and just working hard in the gym. I think all the practice time really comes into help, and just being ready whenever you're called upon.
I just wanted to ask, fans are coming back in the building now for games. What does that mean to the guys? I'm sure they're going to get energy charged up to see fans again.
Yeah, it's really exciting to have some people here in the Gardens. I mean, it just creates that energy for us, and I think we'll definitely notice a difference.
Now, with the pressure of injuries plaguing the team, do you feel any added pressure on yourself to become a better player or goal scorer or become one of those people?
I wouldn't say pressure. It's just an extra opportunity for a lot of guys in here. Like you said, there's more minutes available, so you gotta use the opportunity and just kind of stick to what you're good at.
That was Owen Van Steensel, who has improved his game over in the absence of key player Matvei Petrov, getting not demoted, but just replaced down to the second line tonight with Mitchell Russell and Kyle McDonald. Jamie, I want to ask you quickly, Owen Van Steensel, drafted in the 4th round back in 2020. Not much was known about this kid. Everyone talked about Ty Nelson going 1st overall and Galen Wakely maybe being the steal of the draft in the 2nd round. Maybe there wasn't as much pressure on Van Steensel coming into this season.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you just mentioned, a 4th round draft pick. Maybe he has the ability to maybe fly under the radar a bit more than somebody like Ty or Dallin there when people are expecting them to put up those big numbers. But Van Steensel has lived up to whatever expectation they had of him. Like you mentioned, top line down to the 2nd line tonight. But he's been all over the ice tonight, I've noticed. He uses his size to his advantage. He's been in the corners as well. And like we mentioned off the top of the game, 6 points in 5 games, if I'm not wrong. So he's definitely making a name for himself on the team in this league. And I know everyone wanted to play last year, but due to the pandemic, of course, the league was put on pause or whatever you want to call it. But I'm sure that year maybe even helped him a bit again. He is a rookie, but had that extra year to develop himself in other ways, and I really think it's paying off.
Bob, I want to ask you about Van Steensel. Being a rookie in his first year, he's got 12 points, 6 goals, 6 assists. How much confidence does that give you as a young player, that knowing that the coaches can put you on that top line like they did when Petrov was out?
Yeah, I don't think we should compare Owen Van Steensel to Ty Nelson. Everyone knew about Ty Nelson. He went number 1 overall. Van Steensel's a guy who, yes, it's his so-called 2nd year, but really he's a rookie. It's his 1st year. He didn't play much last year. Not at all against players his own age in terms of the elite talent. And I think it's taken him a while to develop his game, to understand, to have confidence, I think, as a young player. You're going up, you're in this elite league, and you're trying to develop confidence, and it takes a while. And I think we're starting to see in the last little bit, one thing I've noticed with young players is first of all, they got to get it, and then they got to execute it on the ice, and then they got to bring it every night, and that comes last. And so I think by the end of the year, Owen Van Stietzel is going to be a special player, and he had just an unbelievable game last game. Penalty shot goal, shootout winner, great game. He plays on the top line, or he has. So I think a lot of positives as he enters the second half of the year here.
And just talking about seeing those players develop and getting to see the progress of such young players throughout their OHL careers. And it starts actually even in before that in North Bay minor hockey. And one of those big prospects this year for the North Bay U16 Trappers that has a good outlook for this upcoming OHL draft is big defender Zach Major of the U16 North Bay Trappers, coached by Guy Blanchard. And we're going to hear a quick clip of his scouting video that was produced by Doll Star Video.
At 6'2" and 185 pounds, Zach Major is a force on the blue line for the North Bay U16 AAA Trappers. The Sturgeon Falls, Ontario product is a workhorse on the back end for his 2006 age group team with the 2022 OHL draft approaching.
Well, I'm a well-rounded D that likes to play offensive, and he's really strong down below under the dots.
Major also prides himself on his vision, stick play, and physical play.
Well, it's I still think, like, keeping in my mind that I play like I'm the bigger guy, so I like to be like I'm not, but I play like it. Like, I use my body, and also I gotta be faster, so I work on my speed. Still, I'm the big guy, but I try my best to be one of the fastest guys on the ice.
Major also trained hard despite the fact hockey was shut down in the North in early 2021.
Well, shot a lot of pucks daily, worked out a lot. I played a lot of basketball to keep in shape, cardio, and that was a daily thing.
Major also prides himself on being a leader with this 2006 Trappers group for years.
I'm a great leader. I try my best to get my teammates to be the best they can.
Major has the confidence to believe his hockey career will continue to take off beyond AAA hockey.
I worked hard to be here, and I'm willing to work even harder to become a next level player.
This has been a Dostar Video Scouting presentation.
A big thank you to Chris Dawson and Dostar Video Scouting for putting that together. We're going to have more clips of those young talented players that are with that U16 North Bay Trapper team throughout the rest of the season. We'll get an opportunity to highlight some of their high-end talent as they prepare for the OHL draft. Always an exciting year, and I know I got the opportunity to work with Zach Major on the ice a few years ago in a defensive camp, and he's been putting in the work for quite an amount of time, and it's nice to see him doing so well and such a great young gentleman. And what great hockey that's here in North Bay, Bob.
The thing I noticed with the young kids this year is the year of development they lost on the ice with no hockey last year. And so that inner drive that a player must have to, he talked about staying in shape, playing some basketball, working out more. You have to have that inner drive, that inner ambition, because you imagine losing hockey for a year when you're trying to learn and you're trying to develop, and how do you stay in that game shape physically but also mentally, and you really got to try to make up for it in this season. So yeah, development is key, and it's tough when you have to shut the game down for a bit as they did last year.
I think it's really tough too when you don't necessarily know when the game's going to return, right? Like, for all we know, tomorrow the OHL or the minor hockey will be put on hold. Obviously, we hope that doesn't happen, but it's a whole different ballgame when you don't know when you're actually going to return to the ice, because in some aspects you're really not working for anything, right?
Yeah, and I wanted to ask you quickly, I know you got the opportunity to take in a few practices off ice, actually on ice at Trout Lake. where some of the minor hockey players and other teams, Powassan Voodoos, were holding practices and skates out on outdoor ice, especially Trout Lake right here in North Bay.
Yeah, like you mentioned, right out at Trout Lake on Average Joe's there, they had actually the coach told me that the one pad was as big as this, and it looked pretty close to it. But yeah, the Voodoos coach just mentioned to me, and the players as well that I talked to, anything they can do to stay on the ice was better than nothing, of course, when they weren't able to practice in actual facilities. And yeah, it was kind of a cool atmosphere, to be honest. Like you mentioned, some trappers came out, quite a few Voodoos were there as well, and it was just kind of a scrimmage with some skills mixed in there too. And the coach just kept saying to me, as long as the boys were able to keep their heart rate up, that was hopefully going to put them ahead when they were able to return.
Well, Bob, I know we weren't able to be here and do what we do. How did you stay in shape watching hockey throughout the month that we missed here at the Gardens?
Really got to know my bar of Toblerone. That was about it. Went for walks, did a lot of snow shoveling. But no, it's great to be back in the building and just being at a live game. And we feel for the fans who, can't get back in yet. Only 500 tonight. And we hope it won't be too long before we get more people here in the building, because it inspires the players. They want to put on a good show for the fans that are here.
I haven't really heard that "Go Troops, Go" chant break out yet here at the Gardens. I'm sure hoping to hear it here in this third period, as this has been one exciting game so far.
Yeah, it's going to be a great third period. Which style wins out? Is it the skating style of the Greyhounds or the physical play of the Battalion? Should be an interesting third here.
Definitely. Thanks, Bob and Jamie, for joining me in this second intermission. Through 40 minutes of play, the Sioux Greyhounds lead the North Bay Battalion by a score of 2-1. Pretty even in the shot totals, as the Battalion have fired 2 more shots than the Greyhounds, 22-20 after 2 periods of play. And as I step away and conclude this second intermission, it's going to be an exciting third period. And all of that call is going to be brought to you by Matt Sukram and Courtney Kenny. Well, gentlemen, it's been a good 2 periods of play so far. Good luck on the call in the third period.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lindemann, Jamie McKee, and Bob Coles for taking us through the second intermission, as we're about to get set for puck drop for the final frame here this Thursday evening at North Bay Memorial Gardens. And so far, the Battalion have done a good job of keeping with the top team in the West. And now we see Mitch Russell up on that top line with Brandon Coe and Matvey Petrov. Here's Matt.
That's definitely a move to try to spark some offense. We'll see if it works as the puck is dropped, and it's dropped back to Paul Christopoulos behind the North Bay blue line, over to Mathurin, now to the neutral zone. Russell took a hard pass, and all he could do is redirect it, and then it's redirected into the stick of a Greyhound player who dumps it right into the North Bay zone. Behind the North Bay net, along the end boards, it's Karche coming out to the near side, plays it down to the point to O'Rourke. His shot gets blocked by Petrov, and it's sent to the neutral zone. O'Rourke is holding Christopoulos' stick in the neutral zone as the puck gets played forward and dumped into the North Bay end. 45 seconds into this one, the Greyhounds lead 2-1 as Mathurin gets it out of the zone for the Battalion. Stretch pass down the ice of Van Steensel, takes a shot, deflected, redirected towards Tucker Tynan, and he puts the pad down quickly to block it off the end boards on a real hometown bounce there for the Battalion. Back out to the neutral zone and dumped into the North Bay end. It's picked up there by Nelson. He races down his left wing boards, gets it up to Van Steensel, who backhands it towards the net. Tynan plays it into the corner, and now down the half boards, Van Steensel has it there. Falling down, he plays it in front of the net, and it's turned aside again. No call coming as Van Steensel did get tripped up in that corner by the Greyhounds. But the Greyhounds get it out of the zone, turned over, coming in is McDonald, cuts to the right side, and then he lost control of the puck, and it's picked up by the Greyhounds' Watson, who gets it out to the neutral zone, to the left wing side, over to Watson, over the blue line. The shot comes in, save made by Verbetic. 1:41 into the period. It's 2-1 Greyhounds.
It's not hard to, when you look at a goalie, to really compare a catching hand to that of a baseball player, because it's essentially the exact same motion. But when Joe Verbetic just makes that calm, cool snag, it just always reminds me of a third baseman getting a line drive hit at him, and he just, boom, got it. The reaction is just fantastic.
There's another shot, like you said, right at the glove of Joe Verbetic, and calm and cool. He holds it, and we'll have another face-off coming up inside the North Bay zone. Wakely to take it for the battalion against Allard of the Greyhounds. And it's Allard who wins it back to the blue line. Shot in wide of the net. Picked up on the near side boards by Outwater, and he clears the zone for the battalion. 2 minutes into the third. The battalion looking for that equalizing goal. It's down into the Sioux end, and it's controlled behind the net by Brostowski. He sends it down the ice, and it is Kluche getting to it first for the Greyhounds. Walks back down his near side boards, takes a hard hit from Outwater as he dumps it deep into the zone. Played around on the far side. That's Sema of the battalion who gets it out of the zone for Wakely, who dumps it into the Greyhounds end. Now behind the net, Brostowski's back there, getting it away from Outwater of the battalion. Brostowski gets it back in the far side corner, sends it to the point, and cleared out of the zone. Hookie dumps it in. It's Nelson there for the battalion, plays it behind the net for Winslow. He flips up the right side boards for Bouchard. Bouchard with some speed coming in the zone. Bouchard goes into the corner, now behind the net. Bouchard looking to get a pass sent out to the line. He does to Winslow. Winslow back to Bouchard. There's a shot, save made. Rebound right in front of the net and turned aside by the defense of the Greyhounds. That will be icing called against the Greyhounds as they batted the puck down the ice. And so the battalion will get a chance on the offensive zone after once again that young fourth line doing some great work on the attack.
Bouchard is certainly really putting his mark on this team after being a call-up. You know, he's probably only going to be here temporarily once the guys start coming back from injuries like Arnsby or Jackson, but he's really he hasn't looked out of place whatsoever, as it looks like we're getting a timeout from the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds in order to mitigate the icing call, as they were going to have a tired group out there against the battalion's top line. But yeah, Bouchard has not looked out of place, Matt.
No, he certainly hasn't. And the one thing you can do as a call-up is limit your mistakes and make it a tough decision on the front office to replace you when other guys come back.
Absolutely, and he's definitely, obviously, that's the thing. You're all teammates, you're all brothers on this team, but you're always competing against each other for spots in the lineup, for ice time when guys come back. But when it comes to this team, it's going to be tough to justify. A lot of these guys have been playing well in the absences of other players, but Arnsby, is the captain of this team, and Jackson, who's still third or fourth on this team in scoring, and he's been out for almost 2 months.
And we should let you know this period of battalion hockey is brought to you by Northern Wood Customs, available for all your wooden decor needs. Find them on Facebook and Instagram, and tell them you heard this ad to save 10% on your next order with Northern Wood Customs. Face-off won by North Bay. Shot in, deflected wide of the net. Coe plays it out in front. It's down to the point to Winslow. He takes a shot in and out of the glove of Tynan and behind the net. Coe picks it up in the corner to the point to Nelson. Nelson to the left side to Winslow. Winslow feeds it down low for Russell, who plays it in the corner for Coe. Coe lost it coming out of the corner, and the Greyhounds will clear it out of the zone. Mignosa over the blue line to the far side to Cairns. He plays it around to the near side boards to Cartier. Cartier gets away from Winslow, centers in, and they can't get a shot off. Mignosa to the left side boards, back to the point. Mignosa with a shot. That's blocked. Rebound out to Thompson. Another block in front of the net. It's Nelson who picks it up for North Bay, and he clears it out of the zone. 4 minutes gone in the third. The battalion trailing by 1. Hard hit in the neutral zone as McDonald just runs over Mignosa, and the battalion corral the puck in their own end and clear. In the neutral zone, O'Rourke will drop back all the way into his own end before trying to clear. They can't get out of the zone. Stopped by Van Steensel at the line, but then knocked away from the puck, and the Greyhounds go the other way. It's a 3-on-2, but they get stopped at the blue line on the back check from Paul Christopoulos, who clears the North Bay zone. Or they're saying it never cleared the zone, and as the Greyhounds touch it, now they're calling high stick. I thought they were calling offside on the Greyhounds.
That's what I thought too, but I guess that's why we're up here and not in the pinstripes.
Either way, it's a face-off outside of the battalion blue line. 4:35 gone in this third period. The battalion win the draw. They try to play it forward. It's blocked quickly by Brostowski at his own line. He finds Toms on the near side, and Toms dumps it down the left wing side. Coming over the blue line is Allard. Sends it in the corner. Ladd digs it out of that area for North Bay, and now he turns and goes the other way. Sends it back into the corner for Govro. Govro took some time, almost turned it over, but then Ladd came in to help him out, and they do get the puck out of the zone. It's Outwater. Lost it in the neutral zone, and it's Cloutier who has it now for the Greyhounds. He circles the red line and now dumps it into the North Bay zone. Play behind the net by Verbetic. He flips it down the near side boards for Outwater, who tries to play it across the zone. Pinching into the zone is Karche. He got some time. He's got some space, and he takes a shot, and it's fired wide. Thompson at the line now. Across the far side. Shot comes in wide on the glove side of Verbetic. Picked up by Govro. He dumps it down the ice. It will trickle towards Tynan, and he is forced to play it to negate the icing call with 5:40 gone in the third period. 2-1 the score for the Greyhounds as they bring it back down. Cairns knocked down at the blue line, and they're going to call offside here against the Greyhounds. 2-1 the score. The Sioux ahead here in the third.
Yeah, that was a little bit more cut and dried than the last one. It certainly looked more offside than the last one where we thought it was offside, but Derek Edmond up here was calling that one from the sky as a high stick, but he was correct on the call. Just a little bit of mixed match going on with some of the calls.
The Greyhounds win the draw. They fire it into the North Bay zone on the far side boards. A couple of hacks at it down to the point, and then shot into the near side corner. Bethune there for North Bay. He gets it up to the blue line to Petrov. Petrov carries it down over the blue line, draws it back to Russell. Russell to Cole on the right side. Shot save made. Rebound chance denied as well by Tynan, as his defense got there in time to sweep away the rebound. Out to the neutral zone. It's carried in over the blue line by Karche. Karche lost it at the blue line. Poke check made. Another couple of poke checks. That's denied. It is picked up on the near side and carried over by Watson of the Greyhounds. He goes into the corner and he's held by Mathurin. Christopoulos trying to help out his defensive partner for the battalion. And then he throws a Greyhounds player back into that corner. The puck comes out of that area, down to the point. O'Rourke fires it. Gloved by Verbetic, and he holds on to it for a stoppage of play. 6:50 gone in the third period. 2-1 for the Greyhounds.
It really is a shame, Matt, that there is, because I know you're as big a baseball guy as I am, which I don't know if is the right thing to say in the middle of February, but it is what it is. Especially with, the uncertainty that is Major League Baseball right now, but there should be a Gold Glove award for goalies. Like, come on, right? Some of these are knuckle pucks. They're pretty hard to catch.
I'm sure you could put, some kind of statistic on it, too, and then award it, right? Gold Glove for goalies. I like that. I think you should pitch it to the OHL or the CHL.
And then I'll leave you guys behind in the dust. I won't forget you guys when I'm big and famous.
Instead of being the guy that carries the Stanley Cup around, you're the guy that carries the Gold Glove around. Here's a play in front of the Greyhounds net. Bouncing puck turned aside by Tynan and cleared down the ice. Verbetic plays it out, and it's sent back down into the Greyhound zone. Podolu chasing. It's in the corner, down the point to Winslow, across to Nelson. Nelson, the shot, deflected and wide of the net. Picked up on the near side boards by Winslow, pinching deep into the zone. He flips it to the far side boards for McDonald, and McDonald tried to pass. That got blocked, and it's out of the zone, carried by Thompson, the Greyhounds. He goes down the ice, shot in towards Verbetic, kicked into the far side corner on the save. Puck still in that corner, now cleared away by North Bay. The puck spinning as it crosses the goal line, and yes, it will be an icing called against the North Bay Battalion with 7:56 gone in period number 3.
I have to say this is one of the better games I've seen Joe Verbetic play in a little while here for the battalion. As the team has gone and scuffled, so has the big netminder as well a little bit in some games. But so far, as we see Mr. Bob Coles up in the booth dancing, but so far so good for Mr. Joe Verbetic. He's looked calm and cool as we saw him back in November when he was named goalie of the month, and he's kicking the rebounds out of danger.
Yeah, that was when he had back-to-back shutouts for the North Bay Battalion, and I don't have the statistics with me off the top of my head, but I think he only gave up something like 10 goals in 8 games.
It was
or something
ridiculous,
like that.
yeah.
Here comes Mignosa, shot towards the net, save made by Joe Verbetic.
Yeah, it was some ridiculous stat, and good to see him kind of finding his game a little bit in this one and not really fighting the puck. And he's had to step up a little bit now that he doesn't have that safety net of Dom DiVincentis behind him. Charlie Robertson, of course, is going to be, the Battalion are going to like what they see out of him because, he is a goaltender that they drafted, and he's around that same era or age, or not age, but part of the draft that Dom DiVincentis was drafted in the 7th round. Dom was drafted in the 6th, but we'll see if he gets any ice time.
There's a shot on net at Tucker Tynan. Makes a save, sends it down to the point. Mathurin back across to the middle. Russell can't get a shot up, but he follows the puck into the far side corner. And now there's a slash called, and that's going against the Sioux Greyhounds. Back to Joe Verbetic real quick. 6-0-1-1 in November. 2.09 goals against average. .917 save percentage. 2 shutouts over 8 games. Very impressive month, and as you said, having an impressive game. He's made 24 saves, but his team is down by 1 right now. It's 2-1 for the Greyhounds. However, O'Rourke is in the box for the Greyhounds, and so this power play for the North Bay Battalion, brought to you by Noah Strong. They have teamed up with the North Bay Regional Health Center to provide comfort packs for families in need. Head to noahstrong.ca for more details. So, with 9:50 gone, the Battalion have a big chance to tie this one up. Nelson brings the puck in the zone. Centers for Petrov, and his shot is blocked by Tynan. Petrov picks it up on the half boards. Looking for the pass. Sends it in front. Russell's shot is blocked. Down to the point, it's Nelson who keeps the puck in the zone. To the half boards, it's Coe. Sends it back to the point for Nelson. There's a shot. It's off the backside of McDonald and cleared down the ice. .110 remaining in the power play for the North Bay Battalion. And it's a turnover right in front of the North Bay net. McMullen's shot is blocked by Verbetic. The Battalion were just lollygagging in their own zone, and then they gave the puck to 2 attacking Greyhound forwards. I don't have any other adjectives except lollygagging to really explain what was going on, but now the Battalion back on the offensive. Coda Petrov, he lost control of the puck in the middle, and now it is McConnell Barker coming back into the zone for the Greyhounds. Now he sends it back to Kuratsev. Check that, Kudratsev, who just drops back further and further, and now he finally sends it all the way down the ice into the North Bay zone. Picked up by Winslow. Over to Van Steenzel. Coming in over the blue line in the attacking zone. Wakely's there to Van Steenzel at the blue line. Pass across the left side. Potaloo lets it go by him. Goes to the M boards. Van Steenzel plays it. Tries to get it down the line. That's blocked, and Cairns carries it out of the zone. And that will end the power play for the Battalion. Couple of chances early on, and then they gave up a golden opportunity to the Greyhounds, who couldn't convert. So we're right back where we started. With 5 men on ice now, it's 2-1. Here come the Greyhounds. McMullen tries to play in front of the net, turned aside by the back check of Potaloo on that play. Back out to the neutral zone. With 11 minutes gone. The Greyhounds bring it back in. There's a shot that's high over the crossbar, off the glass, and now it's the Battalion bringing it back the other way. Outwater over the blue line. Fires it into the zone. On the far side boards, the Battalion trying to play it out of that area. It is picked up by the Greyhounds, and they clear the zone. 11 and a half gone in period number 3. 2-1 the score with the Greyhounds leading. Out to the neutral zone. Govro trying to carry it back in for North Bay. He sends it into the corner. It's picked up there by the Greyhounds. And they will clear with McConnell Barker leading the charge. McConnell Barker gets into the zone, drops it back to Watson to the left side. The shot, save made by Verbetic. Savard was at the end of that play, got a really good chance in on Verbetic, but he was up to the task there. Play still inside the North Bay zone. Bouncing puck towards Verbetic. He holds onto it for a stoppage and play, and that's where we take our break. 12:07 gone in period number 3. It's a 2-1 Greyhounds lead. Let's send things over to Derek.
Yes, just over 12 minutes played here in this third period of play. Nothing has changed since late in the first period as the Sioux Greyhounds continue to lead the North Bay Battalion by a score of 2-1. Coming after tonight's contest, I'll be joined by Bob Coles for the Long's Maple Syrup postgame show, where we'll break down tonight's action and set things up for the back end of a two-game homestand here between the North Bay Battalion and Sioux Greyhounds. The North Bay Battalion, they have a little bit of work to do here in the final 7:55 if they want to get things tied up. Now, for the conclusion of the third period of play, let's rejoin Matt Sukram and Courtney Kenny.
Work to do in the third, Derek? We just got to upset me a little bit more, was we turn Jared, who runs the social media for the North Bay Battalion. Any and all issues that you have with the battalion social media, direct to Jared O'Shea, who likes to put the same gif of them clapping if they win. And work to do in the third. Am I calling him out? You better believe I am. 7:53 here left in the third period. Shots are deadlocked. Even at 26, the battalion find themselves down 2-1, Matt.
It should be illegal to make fun of interns.
And it's not, though. It is what it is.
The unsung heroes of capitalism.
You know what, though? I got to say, Jared's fantastic. I went out golfing with him. He's a lot better golfer than I'll ever be. So
there you go.
Made me look silly out on the golf course. So not recently, of course. This is I'm talking like last summer.
Interns, the unsung heroes of the golf course.
That's exactly it.
Playback underway here. We've got 7:43 to go in this game. It's 2-1 for the Sioux Greyhounds. The battalion with control of the puck from behind the net. They center it and the shot is blocked. And now there's a stretch pass down the ice. It's Karche in all alone. The shot off the top of the crossbar and it comes back out to the neutral zone. There was a chance on Tynan on one end, then a chance on Verbetic on the other. I don't think either goalie got credit for the save. Certainly Joe Verbetic won with the puck ringing off the iron there. But man, oh man, this game could have gone either way in a hurry. Either the battalion could have tied it or the Greyhounds could have taken a 3-1 lead with less than 10 to play. So, with 7 minutes to play, here comes Petrov over the blue line, tries to take a shot. That got blocked. And now it's Karche going the other way again. He gets stopped at the line. Mathurin with some room. He feeds it up to Russell. Russell on the half boards, dumps it down, and that line will change. 2-1 the score as the Greyhounds bring it back out of the zone. There's a turnover inside the neutral zone as Podolou picks up an errant pass. He dumps it in, but it's quickly played back out by the Greyhounds. They send it down the right wing side. That's blocked by Van Steensel, who tries to play it forward. He gets blocked, and Kluche fires it into the North Bay end. Down the ice, and Christopoulos is pushed along the end boards. The puck comes out in front, and Kluche fires it off the crossbar again. Rebound chance is stopped by Verbetic. Oh, man, 6:17 to go, and the battalion are hanging on by a thread right now. It's 2-1 Greyhounds.
A couple of scary moments for the battalion right there on those couple of plays with 2 crossbar hits. And I have to say, it's a lot quieter than when Ty Nelson hit it when he split the puck, that's for sure. But, yeah, no, the battalion, like you mentioned, Matt, just hanging on by a thread. And they're really hoping that they can kind of pull through this with 6:17 left. Shots are down dead even at 27. And as you mentioned, it could have gone either way there for a moment with a great chance for the battalion down there. And one thing that I always think of, which brings me back to my childhood of watching old Don Cherry Rock'em Sock'em hockey videos, where he always says, how many times do you see a great chance at one end or a save, and then it turns into a goal or another great chance at the other end?
And it looks like the officials want to review at least the first one, maybe both, of the Greyhounds' chances, I would assume.
Yeah, that's what
I don't know if the battalion chance was ever even close. I mean, Tynan kind of had that post blocked, and we're getting a look at it on the board here.
It looks like they're looking at the second chance.
Yeah, that's the second chance there. It comes out of the corner, or off the end boards, out of the corner, and then just carried into the into the slot area and just over the shoulder and off the post. I mean, well, from our vantage point up here, certainly off the post, but I don't know how you can look at that and say that it did cross the line. I mean, if it gets up under the post, but that would be one heck of a weird angle. And now we're going to get an overhead look, and this will tell us everything we need to know. The puck.
Could they have made this any longer of a replay? I'm glad that we get Joe Verbetic looking in the corner, but it looks like play's going to go on. So we don't even need to see the replay because the referees have already called it no goal.
Oh, they have? Okay. And I just missed the replay, so. All right. Well, now that we figured that out, we wonder who will benefit from that little break as North Bay win the draw, and they get it down the ice. Van Steensel going into the zone. Throws a hit on the end boards. The puck to the far side. McDonald centers it for Govro. Big slap shot, and it takes a redirection in front of the net, and it's out of the zone. Racing down the right wing side. Savard over the blue line. Into the corner. Behind the net. Picked up there by McDonald. McDonald trying to backhand it out of the zone. Turns it over. Shot on net, and Verbetic makes a save. Down to the point. McConnell Barker towards the net. His shot gets blocked by Ladd, and he will carry it out of the zone and sends it down the ice. 5:30 to play in the third. 2-1 Greyhounds lead. Mignosa trying to move forward. That gets blocked. Winslow gets it out, and it's Petrov coming in over the blue line. Feeds up ahead. Chance in front. There's Coe, but he can't bury it. Down to the point. Winslow to the half boards to Coe. Coe tries to flip it back, and that got blocked. And now it is Cartier carrying it the other way for the Greyhounds. He dumps it into the corner. Winslow's there. Winslow gets it out of that area. Coe with it on the half boards. He feeds it to Russell. He turns it over the blue line. The shot towards the net is blocked by Winslow. He'll get it out of the zone for North Bay. Feeds it to the right side boards. Coe, stretch pass over to Petrov. Plays it in front of the net. They score! The Battalion tie it with 4:47 remaining in the third.
You know what? That's 2 goals now where we both been kind of like had bad angles on it, where we're kind of like, how did that go in the net? But I think Matvei Petrov's going to get the goal as he leads the charge back to the bench, as he just threw it on net, but it hit either Tynan in front or another body, and either or, as it looks like it just snuck through Tucker Tynan. He didn't know where it was at all. He couldn't tell where that shot was coming from Matvei Petrov, and when that happens, well, Matvei Petrov already has an NHL caliber shot. So, you know, you're in trouble when you can't see a shot from Matvei Petrov, and the Battalion tie the game at 2.
Edmonton Oilers draft pick that certainly is already gaining a lot of attention by the Edmonton Oilers themselves, and Matvei Petrov looks like he will get credited for another goal. See, I thought initially he held on to the puck for a bit too long, but that's why he's down there and I'm up here. So the Battalion score. It's 2-1. Check that. It was 2-1. Now it's 2-2 with 4:12 to play. Here comes Tarasevic. A pass over to Romani. Now down the point to Christopoulos. He flips it along the end boards. The Greyhounds redirect that pass, and they bring it out of the zone. So it is Petrov getting credit for the goal with under 4 minutes to play of this 2-2 game. Sent down the ice. Nelson has it behind his own net in the Battalion zone. Played back to the near side to Winslow. Flips it up to Podolou. Podolou redirects it towards Tynan from behind the blue line, and Tynan will just hold on to it for a stoppage in play. 3:37 to go, 2-2 the score.
Well, back on the Matvei Petrov train for a second, Matt. We talked about, you know, how he's gaining a lot of noise from the Edmonton Oilers, and how many 6th-round picks get signed in their first year of eligibility. It's not very often, but of course this isn't your everyday 6th-round pick, as he was taken first overall in the CHL import draft.
There's a shot towards the net. Tynan makes a save. Yeah, that is Datsukian, isn't it?
Hey, he's fellow countrymen.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is for sure. And I mean, we knew that Matvei Petrov was going to be good in that season of not playing in the OHL. We've seen other former first overall picks go, they're usually a top 3 pick in the CHL import draft. I mean, Andrei Svechnikov comes to mind, who played for the Barrie Colts, and Matvei Petrov going first to the battalion in the 2020 CHL import draft. So, to see him go 6, I think not playing last year in the OHL really hurt his stock.
Playback underway as the battalion win the draw in the offensive zone. A pass from Coe to the far side is deflected over the glass and out of play. And that'll be a souvenir for one of the 500 fans in attendance tonight. 3:19 to go. 2-2 the score. I guess you don't really have to fight anyone for a puck if you get one tonight, eh?
No, there's definitely going to be no black eyes going home from elbows in the crowds, that's for sure. It's but it's a lively crowd for 500. It has been a loud fan base so far, and it's nice to see some people back in the building.
Absolutely. Playback underway. The battalion win the draw, but they can't hold it at the line, and so they have to backtrack, and it's Nelson who has it, and he has to go retreat to his own end, and now he plays it up ahead to Coe. Coe's pass up ahead gets blocked, but it's Nelson picking up the loose puck in his own zone. Now he plays it forward to Petrov. Petrov tries to get it up to Coe. Coe racing in on the left wing side. Stops in the corner. Plays it in front. They score! It's Matvei Petrov once again. Johnny on the spot. Taking the pass from the corner. And Ryan Olhan looking like a genius now. Switching up that top line to begin the period. And they've rewarded him with 2 big goals. It's 3-2 North Bay.
Hey, if we keep talking about Matvei Petrov, do you think he's going to score again? Because, boy, we didn't stop talking about him at all after he scored the game-tying goal. And there he goes and scores the go-ahead goal to this point with 2:50 left on the clock. 31 shots on goal for the battalion, 28 for the Greyhounds. And Matvei Petrov looked ecstatic to score that goal, just looking at Brandon Coe. And it's good to see him back in the lineup after he missed the previous 5.
Yeah, welcome back to the team. Matvei Petrov, 24 goals this season for Matvei Petrov. 2 back of of Brandon Coe for the team lead. And all of a sudden, the battalion, with less than 10 minutes to play, we've got to get one to try to get a point out of this. And now all of a sudden, with 2:15 to play, they've got a chance to steal both points on the first game of a back-to-back series here against the Greyhounds, with 2 straight games tonight and tomorrow against the Western-leading Greyhounds. There's a shot towards Verbetic. It's off a stick and over the glass and out of play. So with 1:55 to go, a 3-2 lead for the North Bay Battalion. And now you wonder if maybe did John Dean take that timeout a little too early in the period for the Sioux Greyhounds. They've pulled their goalie. So they're going to try to win this draw in the offensive zone with 1:55 to play, looking for the tying goal.
Lots of interesting storylines that we can go through with this game, and we'll see if that timeout did in fact come too early. But again, 1:50 to determine it all.
A lot of time left if you're the battalion. The Greyhounds win the draw. They get towards the net. They get it blocked, and North Bay gets it out of the zone, down the ice, and he scores. It's McDonald from behind the blue line. And Kyle McDonald has his 19th of the season.
Second with the battalion, and it doesn't come much easier than that with an empty netter, although it was quite the shot from the red line at center ice. So for Kyle McDonald, you can see why GM Adam Dennis, albeit with an empty net goal, you can see why General Manager Adam Dennis made that move to pick him up from the Windsor Spitfires.
He's a big body, he's a big presence, and he just scored a big goal. Empty net, yes. But the battalion now lead 4-2. 3 goals in the last 4 minutes of this game, and the Greyhounds have pulled the goaltender again. 4-2 North Bay lead with 1:28 to go. Puck inside the North Bay zone. They clear it. It's down the ice. It's trickling towards the empty net. Petrov is there. He flips it up over the crossbar, and then on the rebound chance, it's Mitchell Russell who puts it into the empty net for his second of the game. It's 5-2 North Bay.
What a game to welcome back the fans here at Memorial Gardens with the battalion up 5-2. with 1:17 left, and you saw Matvei Petrov going down there. You knew he wanted the hat trick, but unfortunately it just flips up. And it was going to be a tough chance altogether because he was pretty close to the net when it happened at a bad angle. But Mitch Russell there picking up the rebound off the backboards and just able to kind of turn it in and put it in the net. And I wonder if the Greyhounds will try and pull Tynan again.
It was a great back check by Kudratsev. That's going to be one of those things that might get overlooked. Maybe not if you're the coach, but Kudratsev raced Petrov to that puck and just got his stick in the way. So Petrov gets denied of the hat-trick goal, but unfortunately for Kudratsev, he's the only guy hustling back, and Mitchell Russell was able to easily put it back in between the pipes. So what a turnaround in the last 5 minutes of this game. Matvei Petrov scoring at 15-13, then again at 17-10, and then 2 empty net goals, one at 18-18 and one at 18-43. Mitchell Russell is going to have a 3-point night, 2 goals and an assist. Matvei Petrov has 2 goals on the evening. Brandon Coe with 2 assists, so good night for that top line, even though that top line only got put back together in this third period. But with a 5-2 lead now, Ryan Olhan going, shake the dust off your shoulders because I just put together a solid game plan. And the North Bay Battalion have defeated the Sault Greyhounds 5-2 here at Memorial Gardens for the first time in 2022 in front of a home crowd.
What a great game for the North Bay Battalion to return with the fans to take down the Sault Greyhounds 5-2. It's going to make my job of talking to Ryan Houlihan post-game here a little bit easier, but we'll see a little bit more of that as we're about to turn things back over to Derek Lindeman. And as he said all game long, the legendary Bob Coles. Thanks so much for joining me back in the booth today, Matt. It was a pleasure. And, of course, to my intermission group of Derek, Bob, and Jamie McKee, absolutely fantastic to have you guys back up in the booth here.
Well, maybe work to do did work because they came out after that break, 7:55 left. They were trailing 2-1, and they found another gear. Petrov picking up 2 goals to lead the charge for the North Bay Battalion as they come from behind in the third period to pick up a 5-2 victory over the Sault Greyhounds on this first of 2-2 for the Sault Greyhounds and North Bay Battalion. Bob Cole's just getting set up here as he's going to run us down through the game summary here. Again, the final for Memorial Gardens is the North Bay Battalion 5, Sault Greyhounds, as I turn it over now to Bob Coles for the game summary.
Thanks, Derek. Thanks, Derek. Well, it wasn't a 5-2 game, to put it that way, but that's the final score. 4 unanswered in the third for North Bay. It was 2-1 Greyhounds after 1, no scoring in the second. Shots on goal, 34-28 Battalion, 12-8 in the third and 12-9 in the second for North Bay, 11-10 for the Hounds in the first. On the power play, not a lot of power plays tonight, just 4. The Greyhounds going 1 for 2, the Battalion 0 for 2, and the Sioux won 31 of the 57 face-offs. First period goals, Ryan O'Rourke with his 6th, and Rory Cairns his 26th for the Hounds. Mitchell Russell with his 22nd for North Bay, and then no scoring until the third period. And then the Sioux came so close to going up by 2. They hit a crossbar, they hit a goal post, but they don't count. They're the goalie's friends, and that really cued the Battalion for 4 goals in the last 4 minutes and 47 seconds. Matvei Petrov's 23rd at 15-13 from Brandon Coe and Avery Winslow, then his 24th, second of the game in his first game back after a while from Mitchell Russell and Brandon Coe, so Russell gets his second point. That made it 3-2 North Bay, and then 2 empty netters, Kyle McDonald's 19th from Michael Pudaluk and Owen Van Steensel at 18-18. Mitchell Russell's second of the game, 23rd of the year from Petrov and Christopoulos at 18:43. So North Bay got 4 goals in 3 minutes and 30 seconds to win at 5-2 in the first of 2 back-to-back against these Greyhounds. And North Bay will host the Greyhounds again tomorrow night, and we'll have it for you, of course, beginning at 6:50 with our coverage, 7 o'clock puck drop. And Just one penalty in that third period. Ryan O'Rourke for slashing at 8:39. So quite the comeback for the Battalion. It was a great third period, very exciting. Both teams with chances. It was looking, Derek, like North Bay was going to come on the short end of the score. I mean, the Greyhounds really came hard in the, I guess, from the midway mark of the third to the about the 15-minute mark, and looked like they scored a couple times. In fact, they did look at it upstairs. I think it was the second opportunity, the one that hit the goalpost, and whether or not that was in. They also hit a crossbar. But Joe Verbetic is thanking his friends right now, the crossbar and the goalpost, because they kept the Greyhounds up by 1 instead of 2 or 3. And then you got to give the Battalion big boys credit, Russell, Coe, and of course Petrov with his first game back, who really pulled it out for the Battalion, and they win it 5-2 with 2 empty net goals.
Yeah, exactly. I thought the first start of the third period, North Bay was laying back a little bit, not really pushing it. Then I want to ask you about a key moment. We talked about the bells ringing behind Joe Verbetic, but the one key save I want to ask you about, Bob, is on that power play. There was a turnover, gave the Sioux Greyhounds a mini breakaway. Joe Verbetic came up with a big save, and we looked at each other and we said, that's going to be a save we're going to remember if North Bay can come back and win it.
Yeah, it was about 10:01 left on the clock. Again, it would have given the Greyhounds that 2-goal lead. In fact, the Greyhounds had a couple of breakaways on Verbetic, and that's the goaltending they need from Joe Verbetic. You know, we talked about, and sometimes we look at the goalies a little too closely. They get too much criticism when the team loses and too much praise when they win. But that's the type of thing you need from Joe Verbetic. It's not if he makes saves. He's a good goalie. He's going to make lots of saves. It's when he makes saves. And that was one of those game-defying saves that if he doesn't make that save, the Greyhounds probably leave the building tonight with 2 points instead of none.
And I think a lot of credit has to go to the player Joe Verbetic. He kind of gets overlooked a little bit with the output of Matvei Petrov with a pair and Mitchell Russell with a pair of goals. It's just that goaltending, making those key saves, really carried the team to victory tonight.
And do you think Brandon Coe's glad to have his running mate, Matvei Petrov, back? Because I tell you, that line really worked well tonight. Lots of team chemistry, and you can tell these guys have played together before.
Yeah, and, you know, Petrov kind of looked rejuvenated after missing those 5 games. It's like he came back and found another step and a little bit more creativity, and he just didn't miss a beat with Brandon Coe and Mitchell Russell out there tonight.
But doesn't it seem like he was gone for about 20 games? I mean, they are a completely different hockey team when those two are on the ice at the same time. Really challenging for the other team. They're able to create room, create chances, and you really can't key on, you know, Brandon Coe's having an unbelievable year. He's among the leaders in goals, assists, and points in the OHL, but you really can't key on Brandon Coe and Matvei Petrov and Mitchell Russell are on the ice. They're 3 all-stars, and they played like it tonight.
Exactly, and that's just getting the presence of Matvei Petrov back into the lineup. We still are waiting on Kyle Jackson to come back in, and Liam Marsby. Those are 2 key guys that North Bay Battalion are anxious to get back into the lineup, and just giving more offensive punch to the North Bay Battalion that isn't just a one-line team that we think they are right now.
Well, remember back in the early part of the year, Mitchell Russell wasn't playing. He missed a couple of games, and Kyle Jackson was on the first line, and everyone was worried whether that line would produce. And Kyle Jackson was on the line, and then they moved for a bit. They moved Arnsby from the second line to the first line, and Jackson went to the second line to get Mitchell Russell going. So he gets Mitchell Russell going, goes back to the first line, and that first line was perfect with Petrov and Coe, and of course Jackson's still out, but I think with Kyle Jackson, it really got that chemistry going between Coe and Petrov, and they picked up, where they left off before Petrov got hurt.
Well, with the way they were able to come back tonight, it's a very exciting group, and they're not wasting any time to get back against a rivalry such as the Sioux Greyhounds, a team that's sitting at top of the Western Conference that many people are predicting to finish at the top of the Western Conference going down the final stretches here in the OHL season.
I like Winslow's game tonight. He was involved and started being a little more aggressive offensively, pinching in a little, trying to get that movement. I liked him, and I really liked Owen Outwater's game tonight. I talked about him while we were watching it tonight. You know, Owen Outwater's a guy that you never know with your number one picks, right? What kind of player are they? Are they finesse players? He's got talent offensively, but there's not a lot of subtlety to his game. He likes the contact. He likes physical play, and I think he's going to be a very popular player in North Bay. I mean, he's just a fun guy to watch, and he's learning the nuances of the game at this level, and I've really noticed his improvement the last couple of weeks.
And I really liked your comparison that he has the body type of a Nick Paul, and let's hope that he can continue his growth and turn into that type of player that Nick Paul was. And we all know he was a late bloomer, Nick Paul. So you know what, the Owen Outwater show, it's gonna come, and it's nice to see him creating room for him and his lineup mates by using his big body and maybe throwing a little bit of weight around in those corners.
Well, I remind you guys all the time, this is the youngest team in the OHL. I mean, they have guys like Outwater, they have guys like Sema, they have guys like Romani, they have guys like Van Steensel. Of course, Ty Nelson gets a lot of the headlines, but I mean, I don't know another team in the league that has as many young first and second year players that are anxious to prove themselves. We're starting to see the draft class that Adam Dennis may have put together the last two springs, and we're starting to see some signs, and that's really good. But you need the big boys to do it too, and the big boys stepped up big time tonight.
Exactly. This wasn't the only game on the OHL tonight, as there was 3 other games on tap. Nothing has changed in Peterborough as the Ottawa 67s continue to lead the Petes by a score of 3-2 late in the third period. Midway through the third period, Barrie has finally scored, but Kingston continues and has a big lead over the Barrie Colts by a score of 5-1. Shane Wright and Brandon Hatch picking up goals in that game. And meanwhile, Windsor has come back with 2 goals in the second period as they now lead the Guelph Storm by a score of 3-2 after 2 periods of play. This post-game show is brought to you by Long's Maple Syrup. There you can get your fine Canadian maple syrup produced locally. Go to longsmaplesyrup.ca and you can find their products. While there, why not check out their menus and check out recipes anywhere for dessert ideas to main courses. longsmaplesyrup.ca. There you'll find your fine local maple syrup. Bob, again, where does this set the stage for tomorrow night's game?
I think we're going to have, an aggressive, physical, bordering on nasty game tomorrow night. It's the last time these two teams will play this year. It's so different now. We're getting into the second half of the year. I was checking the standings the other day, and I think there's just one team that hasn't played half the schedule. So a lot of hockey to be played, but this is the time the good teams really step up and start to, you can see it. I mean, I know I've made you sick with my phrase that the first half of the year is about stats for guys, and the second half is about teams, and it's really a factor. I think we saw that tonight. This was the most physical game we've seen between North Bay and the Sioux, and I think we'll see that tomorrow night. It was a great game to watch, great game to see, and hopefully we'll get more fans in here when conditions allow. But it was a fun game tonight, and I think we'll have another good one tomorrow.
Well, with the win tonight, the North Bay Battalion take a 3-2 advantage in the game series against the Sioux Greyhounds, with their final meeting of the season coming tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. We'll be on air at 6:50 for the Long's Maple Syrup pregame show. We'll have the call again, and then they'll conclude Sunday afternoon, a special 1 o'clock start as the Kingston Frontenacs make their first visit into the North Bay Gardens here to take on the North Bay Battalion. From the Memorial Gardens, make the final here, the Sioux Greyhounds 2, North Bay Battalion 5. For myself, Bob Coles, Matt Sukram, Jamie McKee, and Courtney Kenny, and our great producer Ben Long, who puts this all together, thanks for listening, and please have yourself a great evening.